Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day number 3, the final day of action here from the beautiful Finger Lakes region of New York and Watkins Glen International. It is the Clash at the Glen presented by the Connecticut Valley region of the Porsche Club of America. And I am so happy, Brian, because it is Endurance Day here at Watkins Glen, and it looks like for the third day in a row, Mother Nature has granted us some beautiful weather.
I tell you what, Greg, there's not a cloud in the sky over this racetrack, so this is going to be an incredible day of racing. And remember, we're not doing sprint racing. As you said, we're doing enduros. There's strategy involved in this one.
Indeed, there is. This is the first of two 65-minute endurance races here this morning from Watkins Glen International, and we've got about 60 drivers that are going to be that are scheduled to take to the track. Actually, let me rephrase that, Brian. 60 Porsches that are supposed to take the track for this endurance race, as we may have a few teams that even over the course of just a shorter race, like 60 minutes, may be doing some driver changes. And we're going to follow that up with a race with the big boys, with the cup cars, just a little bit later. But let's do this. Why don't we, we've got the drivers on the pace lap. I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed for this. I'm going to run down the starting order, but also before we do that, why don't we set some of the ground rules here, since we've been discussing them just before we came on air. And yes, thank you everybody for joining us. I know Aloha and Mahalo was wondering why he didn't hear us talking for the last 3 hours. It's because, well, some of us just woke up. But for the endurance race, for the 65-minute race, again, teams can have driver changes. They can put in additional fuel in the cars if they need, but there are some specific ground rules about when they can do that. The pits are going to be closed for the first 15 minutes of this race, and they're closed for the last 10 minutes of the race. And if we have to go to full course caution, which we saw a couple times during our sprint races yesterday, Brian, the pits are closed as well. So there's no way to, unless you're already on the pit lane when a full course caution comes out, there's no way to gain a huge advantage by pitting in under the caution. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of our starters here. And again, some of these cars may not be out on track, but we'll give you an idea of where they should be. Starting on the front row, and I think we can already tell now, Brian, by looking there, because I don't see his Cayman there on the front row. Eric Liu in the number 154 GTB1 Cayman. Is scheduled to start right alongside Angus Rogers, also in the GTB1 Cayman. Then Hadley Boss Fisher on the second row alongside Ed Dunn, both of those drivers in GTB1 as well. Row number 3 made up of Russell Matarana in his GTB1 Cayman, starting alongside the GT4 1970-911 of Claudio Kempf, and it looks like we've got Claudio out there. Then we've got Kieran O'Rourke in his GTB3 Cayman, starting in 7th alongside Walter Jessic, the first of our spec, and I think our only spec 997 entry. That's the 148 car. We've got Mike Beers and Matt DiStefano in the 186 GTB1 DiStefano, the first of our spec Caymans in the number 93 car. Then we've got a couple more spec Caymans. Wahid Shahadi starting on the inside of row number 6 in 11th position with Matt DiStefano alongside. Then we got Sam Amano in his 2014 Cayman. That's a GTB1 entry, starting lucky 13th, with Tony Clinton alongside. And then we've got Dwayne Moses and Doug Crossman. Moses, another one of our 911 Cup drivers. Crossman in the G class as the pace car's on the pit lane, Brian. And the green flag is out here for our first endurance race of the day, as Ed Dunn and Angus Rogers were the two drivers, I believe, on the front row. They're going to lead the field in now to the 90. And looks like very calm, I think, Brian. And we'll get to some more of the starters here as this race goes on. But it appears that these racers, I think they know that this is treated maybe a little bit differently than a sprint race. And we're a little bit more calm going into turn 1 than what we saw a number of times yesterday.
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot more give and take, especially early on in this race. As you know, you saw Ed Dunn and Angus Rogers, although they were kind of side by side going through there the entire time, through that. And it looks like now they've gotten single file. I would tell you what, Greg, we've got two cars that pulled off down into turn number one. Lawson Wilder, I think, was one of them. And then in that 116 machine, and then there was another one of our spec boxers that pulled off to the driver's left as well. So we got two cars. I think we got two cars sitting down there. I know Lawson Wilder was pretty slow on the start, let everybody go by. But we did have at least one car pull off down there.
So, Brian, you and I were also talking. And we do have the standing yellow over turn one to reflect that. Brian, you and I were talking about conversation that you had yesterday with Franklin Prey, driver of the 777 997 chassis, and he had some fueling issues both on Friday or probably during both races yesterday, to the point where he actually ran out of fuel on the last lap during one of our races yesterday. And I know you were talking with him about strategy on how he was going to figure out how he and his teammate today, who is Dylan Murray, how they were going to ensure that they could actually make the car last all 65 minutes. And he sent the email to us a couple minutes ago, basically saying they were trying to get the car started on the pit lane before the race, and they couldn't get the 777 started. But I think he is out there now.
Check your fuel.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah, I had a great conversation.
Prime the fuel pump.
Yeah, turn the fuel pump on. Yeah, definitely had a great conversation with Franklin yesterday. They actually had the computer up there looking at stuff. No clue how they ran out in that first race. We didn't even know that they had run out. And then he packed it full of fuel in the second race yesterday afternoon and got it done. Ended up finishing second in GTB1.
Yeah.
Kind of the deer in the headlight look when I asked him, so what do you do for tomorrow? And he kind of just looked at me, and I was like, I'll do the strategy from up top if you want. Just make sure you got plenty of fuel.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so let's take a look. First off, we've got over in the chat, Sadakal, thanks for joining us, cheering on Rob Walker, who is one of our spec Boxster racers here today, and good luck to him. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Let's take a look at some of the other drivers that we'll have. And but we may have, I'm wondering if we'll have the in-car video again from Andy Murphy, who is out on track in the number 47 car. He's starting alongside started alongside Michael Gershon in the ninth row. Murphy starting 18th specifically. Eric Olosevic scheduled to start 19th. Alongside Jordan Simon, Olosevic in the 911 Cup class, and he got that car running pretty well yesterday afternoon. I think finished second in our final sprint race for the vintage group. Jordan Simon in his G-Class Boxster was starting 20th. Greg Rochik and Ken Agnow, surprise, surprise, starting right next to one another on row 11, starting 21st and 22nd. Rochik in his bright red 944 S2. Then also in Ken Agnow in that beautiful Rothman livery car. As we go on board now, looks like we got this car fixed back up. This is the Farragut spec Boxster, Brian.
Yeah, I tell you what, I had a conversation with Alex yesterday and asked him kind of what happened. Did he get touched? Remember, you had Tamer Albaga going through the bus stop there, got loose, and it was kind of got bottlenecked up. And the first question I asked, did somebody hit you? And he said no. He just hooked himself on the inside there of the
curbing.
Bus stop,
Yeah.
on that curbing, and it just kind of threw him, straight on. They worked quite diligently last night when I got down there after we were done yesterday afternoon. They had pretty much everything done, ready to put back on the car. They were doing an ABS, needed a new ABS module there to put in, and that car came out for practice this morning and looked pretty decent. So
Yeah.
looks like they've got that going. But I tell you what, Greg, attrition is starting to jump up here. We've had several cars already go back behind the wall.
Wow.
You see here cars coming down, making that right-hand turn. We've got one car that came out late from the paddock. So that, and then we, as I talked about Lawson Wilder, I think he's going to take that turn, that right-hand turn down at the end of turn one. But so he was one of the ones that was down in turn one. But yeah, Ryan Farragut got that car up. It looked pretty good in practice, warm up this morning. So again, with 65 minutes here, you've got plenty enough time to work himself up in that spec Boxer class.
All right. Well, we'll definitely check in, and so as I'm looking through the order here, the Lost and Wilder car, the 116, and Gershon in the G class cars, not seeing lap times from them. Eric Liu, who was supposed to start on the front row and be our pole sitter today, not making the grid. Hadley Boss Fisher, who was supposed to start, I think, on row number 2, not making the grid. Our sole Spec 997 entry of Walter Jessic, as well as Terrence Judge in the H-Class 964 chassis, not making the grid, nor did Mark Stilson, Stu Jenkins, or Tomasz Konvalina. And I think, if I remember right, Konvalina had some issues. That's the hippie car. Had some issues with that car yesterday afternoon. So we'll continue to track here as we can and see which drivers end up taking back to the paddock here as this race gets underway.
Well, I tell you what, I was just sitting here watching coming down the front stretch down into turn number 1, and the Spec Boxer with Rob Walker and Sean O'Brien. They're still nose to tail. So hopefully they're parked next to each other in the paddock, because that means they've been nose to tail all weekend long. Because they still have not moved away from that nose to tail. Pretty much coming up through the S's right about now. So again, Rob Walker, Sean O'Brien still battling for Spec Boxer right now, currently early on in the 1-2 position. Got a lot of, Greg, one of the things that I mentioned there early on in this race, this is where you're going to see a lot of give and take, because everybody knows they got to make that pit stop.
Right.
There's several drivers that they're going to go out and utilize at least the first 30 minutes. Again, had some other conversation down there. They're going to use it as a full sprint race to try to get out, and we see this all the time, get out, get as big as lead as you can, and then kind of throttle it back a little bit the second half of the race and just kind of take care of the equipment, to try to manage to get into that 65-minute window. Is Eugene Basha now calling it a day early on as well in that 23. Pretty big gaggle coming up here out of turn number 8. We're back on. Let's go on board here with Rob Walker. It does look like Sean O'Brien may have gotten in front of him, Greg. And I think that's in that bottleneck that I was just talking about. You can see those cars now coming up out of turn number 10 up through there. So Sean O'Brien moving to the lead here early on in Spec Boxer.
Yeah, indeed, Brian. And those two drivers, when we looked at how all of our Spec Boxers started, they were sitting right around the middle of this entire 60 car, or I guess 50 car or so field. Most of the Spec Boxers are starting a lot further back in the pack from O'Brien and from Rob Walker. Like Jared Rodaver was scheduled to start, I think, on the 21st row. Whereas Walker and O'Brien were right around the 12th row. And so big gaps already as Dan Rubel, Chris Taylor, Ryan Farragut, who we were just following here a few moments ago, almost 12 seconds back right now from O'Brien and Walker.
I tell you what, let me jump in here, Greg. So we've got Alex Farragut, who is down into the center, almost in the apex, in the grass off to driver's right, into turn 1.
Oh, my.
I'm sure we'd be able to pick that, up in the I don't know if we get that kind of a shot there. She is down on, not in a very good spot. You can see her right there into the center of the screen on driver's left, not being able to move. She's been there for about a lap or two.
Driver's right. Just,
driver's
and it's
right.
Just past the apex, going into turn 1, as we see a couple of our drivers having to take very different lines getting out of that groove to try and avoid her and moving up. And so that likely, of course, the drivers will see the local caution at the turn stand there. I can't imagine they're going to leave her out there for 65 minutes.
Yeah, that's a tough spot, especially if you get, coming down the front stretch, you get too wide there trying to battle it out. So, yeah, that is a position that's a very tough to see, and it becomes blind when you're coming around that corner right there. So she hasn't moved in about 2 laps. So I'm wondering if just won't start, or did she maybe an axle in the rear of that as well?
Yeah, maybe something broke there if it's been that long, not to be able to get that car back up and running.
Yep.
All right, and there you go. You can see the local caution there with the waving yellow because the car is on the pavement. There's another car that's on the pit lane. Now, remember, the pits have not technically opened yet. They won't open for another about 3.5 minutes for drivers to come in. That's the best shot I think we could get there as we go on board with Rob Walker as he came into turn 1, and you can see the Porsche there. And so still a bit on the pavement. But at this point, Brian, given how long she's been there, most of the racers, they know that car is there. They can prepare for it. But what it does do is it takes away one of the few prime passing spots here at Watkins Glen to try to outbrake somebody, given that very wide front straight, to try and outbrake and pass them going into turn 1.
Yeah, and Greg, we are going to a full course caution here, for that vehicle of Alex Farragut, in that 229 machine down there. So,
all right, so let's do this, Brian. As we now go to a full course caution, let's quickly take a look at where we stand with a couple of our different classes. We were just following, obviously, with Rob Walker there and the battle with Sean O'Brien for the lead in Spec Boxster. Over in Spec Cayman, Matt DiStefano has 11 seconds right now on Wahid Shahadi. Dominic Belvedere, another 2 seconds back from there. Andy Murphy, another one of our, we might have some on board from Andy again today, running. Yeah, and we're not seeing his feed yet this morning. I'm just getting word from Dustin, our director, is about 14 seconds back from Belvedere, running in third. Over in GT4, Claudio Kempf leading over Jose Roque, with Chris Musante in third. Over in ME1, another one of our vintage classes, or considered vintage class, Gene Raimondi in his 2004 Boxster, up on Christopher Fahey with Frank Osborne running in third. Raimondi with about 6 seconds before the full course caution came out. And in 911 Cup, Dwayne Moses, your leader over Eric Losevic. Lee Lasberg about 5 seconds back. And Moses at the moment with almost 20 seconds on Losevic. So pretty free and clear at this point, long before the pit stops are happening.
Yeah, most definitely. I tell you, like I said, we're starting to see some attrition with some of these drivers, and then, especially in the 911 Cup with Bosch, and now you get Farragut. Obviously, Del Rey been off the pace all weekend long, in that. So it becomes, that gap opens up there with Dwayne Moses, who's been pretty, I think has swept both races yesterday. Had a little incident on Friday and didn't finish that race, but swept both of the 911 Cup races here yesterday. So look for that to come down to the end, I think. As they are now attending. And again, with such a large field here, Greg, it is taking an extra, lap and a half, 2 laps really, to get the entire field behind the pace car
them, so that they can actually get a nice gap to send out the emergency workers. Over in the G class, Doug Crossman, currently your leader, had Jordan Simon right with him, though, when we went to caution. I think might be, let me see, I think they might be right together on track. I have to go through the whole list here.
Well, it's about a second difference, so there may be a car or 2 cars
second now, but they're under caution, but they're running 14th and 15th overall, so they're right next to one another on track, with David Nissenbaum running in third, Gil Mizrahi fourth. Over in SP3, Ken Agna got the jump on Greg Rochik, and Rochik's caught up in a bit of traffic. They're about 5 seconds separating them on the last lap. Robert Linder considerably further back in third. Over in GTB1, Angus Rogers and Russell Maturana are right next to one another in line here under caution, with Ed Dunn, I think, one more car back. And then, of course, we talked about Spec Boxster, where Dan Rubel has the best of the rest after Sean O'Brien and Rob Walker. He's got Chris Taylor, Sam Halabi, Ryan Farragut all very close behind. We had 16 drivers go out in Spec Boxster, but I think the 0 and the 125, the Rodaver car and the Stephen Ryan car may have been a couple of those cars that came down the pit lane. All right, so technically, Brian, we've hit the 15-minute mark, but because we're under full course caution, the pits do remain closed. Unless, of course, look, if a car is having a mechanical issue that they need to repair, they're going to be able to get into the pits. But the important thing is they can't do fuel changes. They can't do driver changes at this point. All right, so let's do. Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, does not count towards their 5-minute.
Exactly, and what will happen? Again, all these drivers will have to do a 5-minute minimum pit stop at some point during the race. If they run shorter than that 5 minutes, they'll have to come back around and serve out until they hit the 5-minute mark. But you have essentially the penalty of having to come down the pit lane another time. All right, let's do this, Brian. Why don't we, while we're still under full course caution, why don't we take our first break? We're going to have two breaks during this race, and when we come back, hopefully, we'll be back to green flag racing here for our first of 2 endurance races today at Watkins Glen International and the Clash at the Glen. Stay with us.
Come to Lime Rock Park on Saturday, August 1st for the 4th annual Porsches at the Rock, a day of fun with activities for the whole family. In addition to a full high-performance driver education happening on track, there will be an autocross, a Porsche Cars and Coffee gathering, a Porsche-themed swap meet, food trucks on the Midway, a 944 corral, and parade laps around the track at lunchtime. All activities on the Midway are free for spectators. Visit cvrpca.org to learn more about Connecticut Valley Region's on-track and social events planned throughout the year.
Are you ready to unleash your competitive spirit? HQ Racing is the largest multi-level and largest indoor-outdoor go-karting facility in the United States, right in Peekskill, New York. With top-of-the-line SOTY carts, HQ Racing delivers a one-of-a-kind racing experience to anyone, from first-time amateurs to seasoned pros, in a family-friendly environment perfect for unforgettable gatherings and events. HQ Racing also has carts with side-by-side seating, great for children or people with special needs. Plan your adrenaline rush today by going to hqracing.com to book a reservation. Walk-ins are also welcome.
The United States Roofing Company is the primary source for all roofing needs. They have unparalleled experience installing, maintaining, inspecting, and repairing every type of roofing and waterproofing system. They work on buildings of any size and any height, from small local roof projects to some of the largest roofing projects in the Mid-Atlantic region, including the Pennsylvania Convention Center and the Jacob K. Javits Convention Center in New York City. Every type of roof and project is within their capabilities. They offer world-class design and consulting services for all types of roof projects, including solar and green roofs. USRC is known for completing projects on time, within budget, and to the complete satisfaction of our customers. Learn more at usroofing.com.
The Chicago Region Porsche Club is excited to host the 34th annual club race and 60th driver education at the internationally renowned 4-mile, 14-turn technical track at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Taking place Labor Day weekend, all Sunday, Monday races at the Road America Challenge will earn points towards the 2026 Sprint Trophy Club Sport, Triple Trofeo, and PCA National Championship Series. In addition, the event features a Porsche parade using the original Elkhart Lake race circuit, as well as a car show and gourmet dinner banquet downtown on Saturday evening. It'll be fun for the whole family, plus friends. Register today at clubregistration.net.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International and the Clash at the Glen, presented by our wonderful partners in crime, the Connecticut Valley region of the Porsche Club of America. And Brian, you and I could not time this any better, as the lights are now out on the pace car, and we now have Angus Rogers, Russell Maturana bringing the field up to the start-finish line where they are going to see the green flag, and we're going to go back to racing. Also, that pit closed notice has been withdrawn. So if we do have racers who want to come in and either pit for fuel or to do a driver change here early on, they are free to do so as we're back to green flag racing here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's definitely going to, and it looks like we've got one of our cars there. The number is 16.
Oh, my.
That's Chris Musamonte. It was pretty dominant yesterday. He's going to stop over right on driver's right. We got one car that's having the same problem as well. So, Greg, we got two cars that are back down in the right-hand side there.
See, they could have left the Farragut car right there at the apex of turn one and just gotten three of them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Great job by Musamonte pulling the car over against the wall and staying out of the way there. Of course, we do still, of course, have the local caution at turn one because of the two cars that are off. So still no passing down at turn one. Of course, when you see all that white smoke from an air-cooled engine, Brian, on the front straight, you have to ask, you have to wonder if there's a line of oil, if the car has been oiled down there. And we are getting word that I think the second car involved is the 147 car.
Yeah, when we may
that went off, and that's Wahid Shahadi in his spec Cayman.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to go back to a full course caution again. And Greg, I'm looking out the window, and I'm not seeing a line. He definitely got over pretty quickly along the wall there. I don't see a line of oil, but there may be some down towards where he is. And again, he's not in a good spot. Remember, we had that incident yesterday where he had a couple cars going down into turn one as well. So
you didn't see oil, Brian, and I think some of our racers down in the boot didn't see the double yellow flags either.
Yeah. So.
But that's here or there as we now see the pace car deploying again and going to pick up our leaders once again, Angus Rogers and Russell Motorana. And once again, Brian, the pits will be closed. Yep. So there was a very short window in which our racers would be able to go in there to take fuel or change drivers, but it is not now, as they are no longer free to do so, and they can go down if they've got a mechanical issue that they need to work out. But again, we are under full course caution. Now, there were a couple classes that I didn't get to, Brian, before we went, and I think actually GTB1 right at the front. There with Rogers and Motorana. Ed Dunn is how many cars back is Ed Dunn? I think he is. He's sitting right third. He's
right
third
back
in line.
behind Motorama. He got around that other car, so he's definitely right there with the top two.
All right, and it looks like Wahid Shahadi was able to get his car back underway, and we'll try to track and see if we can find him and whether or not he managed to merge back into traffic, or perhaps if he was able to just get back down the hill. There is the cutoff, Brian, between the exit of the 90 and turn 2, where the drivers can make a right-hand turn and actually drive back towards the paddock. So he may have just been able to do that just by the force of gravity.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that when all of the cars. It looks like all the cars have now passed my perspective here, past the start-finish line, and he looked like he was going to have enough speed to keep going.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It may have been that it just shut off on him, and he was able to get it refired. But we'll keep an eye on that based off the number of laps as we get going. So it does look like Musamonte may have put some stuff down, Greg, like when he got started. Just past the start-finish line, and then kind of got over to the right as quickly as possible.
Yeah, he did a good job of mitigating the problem there.
He was in earlier, came down the pit road pretty quickly to get attended to by his crew, but then went right back out. So evidently, whatever that was, but yeah, it does look like there may be a little bit of a line just past the start-finish line down pretty much to where he is. I don't see if it's a lot, though.
All right, so again, we are under full course caution here at beautiful Watkins Glen International. And besides this endurance race, we're going to have one more for you today. It is scheduled to start at 10:35 this morning to help wrap up the weekend here. Of course, it'll wrap up the weekend of racing. There is so much more going on this weekend as well, Brian. We've got a substantial number of Porsche owners that have brought their cars out for driver education, what we call HPDE, where under the auspices of instructors learn how to but to drive their Porsche automobiles safely around a racetrack. And if you want to find out more about that, you can go to PCA.org. And many of the events that we are covering here this season have the HPDE component as well. And it's a great way to bring Porsche owners of all kinds together to celebrate what is I think, one of the greatest marks of automobiles available to man. And so this group, unfortunately, Brian, though, they're having to spend quite a bit of time at a controlled pace of about 35 miles an hour behind a pace car.
Yeah, I tell you what, the pace car may have to come in and do a refueling stop and do a mandatory 5-minute pit stop if we keep this up.
Well, Brian, you said that the pace car needed to change tires yesterday.
Well, yeah, I think there was a flat tire on the left rear yesterday when I went down into the paddock after we were done here. Kind of talking to some of the drivers, I happened to look over and the pace car was getting a tire replacement. So, yeah,
well, we had one incident yesterday where they had to deploy the pace car very quickly, and it came down this apron here off the pit lane. Perhaps they didn't engage the the launch control, Brian, because I'm pretty sure they just lit up the rear tires at the rate they were going. As we can see now, a number of vehicles here. The two white Toyota pickups that you see on just towards the end of the pit wall, they are there essentially to protect the corner workers that are down with the number 16 machine right now, and you can already see the track blower, the jet dryer there at the edge of the track, and something tells me that once they get this car removed, they're probably going to start looking to see if there was any oil laid down on the track surface as well.
Yeah, you can see right in front of the first Toyota truck that is there. There's a black line there. That is oil that's going in. So they're waiting to get that car removed, and then they'll just put a quick line through there, and then they'll blow it off over into the pits, and hopefully shortly after that, and they get the Musumante car removed, we should be able to get back to green.
Indeed. Well, and hopefully we don't have Juan Pablo Montoya around in the paddock anywhere.
He's banned. He's not allowed to the game.
And anytime there's a jet dryer involved, you want to make sure that he is somewhere not on the premises. Ensure that he's maybe walking the original Grand Prix course that was used in the 50s down through the streets of Watkins Glen rather than being at WGI.
Greg, I will tell you, Walid Shahadi, he is on the track. He is going around under the pace speed as well, so he's just now passing the incident there. So he's the last car that will come up through this entire field. Now, doesn't mean when we go back to green he'll be at full song, but he is pacing himself around. Maybe what he could do is, again, maybe that's the strategy part of it, where he had that problem. Once they go green, he can come down and do his 5-minute mandatory pit stop. That way his crew can attend to probably what may have happened and then go right back out. Still trying to get that 16 car up on the flatbed now, down into turn 1. So I would assume we're probably looking at about another, maybe a lap and a half, 2 laps behind the pace car. Here is it just now starting to put down the line of the oil dry down towards where that car is. So definitely that's where the oil started from there, not back where we anticipated it being back up here just before the start finish line.
All right, so let's go and we'll check in here, Brian. Again, I think we're going to get to the point where a lot of these drivers, as we are about halfway through this race, that they're probably going to be ready to start pitting in, I think, here soon enough to, if they had driver changes planned, more for equity. Unfortunately, it's not going to be very equitable since the first drivers have spent the majority of their time behind the pace car here now for about 20 of the last 30 minutes.
Well, the good thing is Franklin, Prey, and Dylan, they should be able to save enough fuel now during this with as many caution laps as we've had from a time perspective. So they should be really good on fuel probably for the rest of this race.
Yeah, I think the big thing here, obviously, though, Brian, is, again, the ability to change drivers, the ability to put in fuel. Although, again, for this much time spent behind the pace car, the fuel calculations, I think, are completely out the window. But it really narrows down when these drivers are going to be able to come in to do their pit stops. But, this is one of the, as you and I have raced at Watkins Glen and done club racing at Watkins Glen, I mean, this is always one of those challenges that you have to take into account is, we know the house rules here. We know that basically anytime they have to deploy any kind of equipment for any reason, we're going to be going to a full course caution. But also the margins for, look, all of these racers, most of these racers are amateur racers, and the margins are much slimmer here at Watkins Glen than almost any other racetrack that they're going to race at during the year, because those blue bushes, because that Armco is so close to trackside almost all the way around all 3.5 miles.
Right. Well, again, I think what you're going to see is the minute we go back green, they'll take that green flag and you're going to see a flurry of action down on pit road where all these cars are going to come in at the same time in order to handle that 5-minute mandatory pit stop. Right now, with about just right around 32 minutes and 20 seconds, that gives them about a 22-minute window here to come in and get that 5-minute pit stop done before that pit closes within that last 10 minutes. So, you got a lot of teams talking a lot of strategy on radios and talking amongst the crews about, getting the cars in pretty quickly once that happens, as they're still looking to get that number 16 machine up on the flatbed, basically just because of where he was parked. It is very difficult to get that car up there to get him removed. The oil dry has been put down. The oil dry has been cleaned off.
Okay.
So that is a good thing there. So there's nothing about having to wait from that. So I think it's once we get this car moved and get those safety trucks back behind the wall up out of there, and they won't have to go very far, as you talked about that cutout right there at the exit of turn number 1. They can bring it back into the paddock. I think that's what they'll do the minute they get it up on the that flatbed, which it looks like they are doing that now.
All right, we've already had another car retire, Brian, and I think it's likely Daniel Rubel in the 771 Boxster, who was running. Where was he running? I think third in spec Boxster, and so now he is going to. He was running third behind O'Brien and Walker, quite a bit further back in the line. We'll double check that to see if he's retired, as our spotter Josh said that it was the 711 car, but I don't believe we have a 711 here this morning, so likely the 771.
Unless it's down there getting coffee. I mean, the other day, 711 was 50 cents off fuel if you were a 711 member. So
perfect.
I know I took advantage of it.
I figured you did.
Got my 31,000 points for a reason.
Not one of our PCA sponsors, by the way, Brian.
No, it is not.
All right, so we've got the 16 machine now on the flatbed, and there's the crossover road that I was talking about a little earlier. They're going to just make a quick right-hand turn here. All right, so let's find out then, because those are the last two vehicles that are on track, Brian, correct? The jet dryer has exited as well?
Yeah, looks like everything's clear down there, so we should probably see the lights go out when they get to the top of the hill here. Ooh.
All right, so
like
we'll watch, but we should be going back to green flag racing this next time by. We'll watch that pace car as he comes up towards turn 90. turn 90, pardon me, turn 9. It's hard enough when we have 11 turns here, Brian, but if we multiply that out by another 9, that's even worse. All right, lights are out on the pace car now, so we will be going back to a green flag. The pits should be open for our drivers, and it is going to be a fairly short window, Brian, with only a half hour left in this race. The pits do close with 10 minutes remaining, so only a 20-minute window. We'll see if anybody comes in. If they are, it's solely, I think, at this point going to be for a driver change, likely not changing, not putting more fuel in the car. And we very rarely in this group see tire changes like we do in our what we'll likely see in the purple group with the Cup cars, that very often will change tires before the end of the race. And there we go. We have at least one car on the pit lane now looking to make a driver change.
Yeah, I think
that's actually that's the pace car.
That's the pace car. They have to complete the lap. They have to take the green flag, although we've got one car that is coming down the pit lane now as well. But I do believe you have to go by the start-finish line. You cannot just duck on
onto the pit road
on the pit lane.
Yeah, at the end of the safety car lap. You have to do at least one start a green flag lap. Yeah,
and that's the 97. That has come down. But again, I think that you have to, again, the start-finish line runs all the way across the pit lane, Greg, so it may be a little bit different than other tracks. So it could be that they may go ahead and do that and accept that to come by there. But I was under the understanding you had to complete the lap before you came in. So let's look for this lap to see a flurry of action coming down pit road. Which could cause some challenges with drivers getting on pit road, drivers waiting another lap. You've got people coming in, you've got people going around on the outside. So you've got to make sure as a driver, you're signaling to the driver behind you that you're potentially coming down pit road in order for them not to run in the back of you.
Yeah, here we go. All required pit stops shall be started under green flag conditions. In the event of a restart, a driver may enter pit road to make the required pit stop on the restart lap, provided the driver has crossed the start-finish line. And here's the important part, on track under green flag conditions after the restart.
Yep.
All right, so we will now on this lap maybe see some drivers, and there you go, at least a couple of drivers. We know that Franklin Prey has his co-driver. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the 777 car come down. We'll try to get numbers on some of those cars, as we're also getting word now that another car had a mechanical issue over by turn 9 and is pulled off into what we think is a safe area over there, kind of on the short chute area. As there you go, there's at least one car, Brian, and I can't see the number from here.
Yeah, Margarama is on the pit lane as well.
Okay.
The 187 as well on pit lane. Donald Anger's on pit lane. Ken Agnaw's on pit lane. Greg, about 50% of the field is going to be on the pit lane.
Well,
we'll just count the cars that are not on pit lane.
That means there's 150% less of a chance of having a full course caution.
That is true. Ryan Farragut's on there. Noah Mazzola's on there. That's not Noah Mazzola. Sorry, that's the 740 machine. Gene Ramondi's on pit road. Like I said, let's count. Tamer Elbaga's on pit road. Let's count the cars that are not on pit road right now.
All right. Well, this is good, Brian, because look, all of these racers, we're going to have to take at least one pit stop, and at least they're not all doing it at 55 minutes. So.
Yeah.
So that there will be a suitable number of pit stalls for all of these racers to do it, as we go back on board with Rob Walker chasing down Sean O'Brien, now coming down into the toe of the boot. And here we go. Here's where you can see the elevation change through the toe, Brian, much better than our cameras on the outside of the track can show here. And right alongside Sean O'Brien, let me see if I can pick up who that is.
Not sure if that's one of our 911s or one of our.
I thought perhaps it was a Losevic, but the color looked a little bit too light for it to be a Losevic in the 725 car. We'll see if we can pick up a number on it, because they were right around a Losevic. Also, Doug Crossman in. Oh, you know what? Actually, looking at the rear of it, that might actually be Doug Crossman in the 92 G-Class car, the 964 RS America gray. It's listed as gray.
Actually, I believe that was the 725 machine there, Greg. So I think you were right. It was because Walker and Sean O'Brien, they're all on pit road. So that was the 725. So that was a Losovic.
Got it. Okay.
In that 911.
Yeah, so that pit lane now starting to get awfully crowded. And, and again, if we've got driver changes, and I see a couple with the doors open, that it looks like the drivers are pitting in. But regardless, every racer required to stop for a minimum 5-minute pit stop before they head back out.
Yeah, and that window will close in about 13 and a half minutes.
Yeah, not a lot of time.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, one interesting thing here is you've got Rob Walker and you've got Sean O'Brien. Not only are they together on the racetrack, Greg, they are pitted right next to each other. And when I say right next to each other, I'm not talking about nose to tail. I'm talking about side to side. You can see that on our camera shot right there. You can see Rob Walker. He's the car sticking outside. Sean O'Brien to the inside of it.
So maybe Walker's just going to try to, that is Walker on the outside. Maybe he's just going to try to trap Sean O'Brien in there.
So that was my question, Greg.
Yeah.
I think Sean O'Brien hit the pit road beforehand by, maybe a second and a half down how he has to wait.
It depends on what the 186 does ahead of him, whether or not there's going to be. Oh, wow. That's
one of those.
I mean, okay, so you got two teammates working together, but, I think that's a great strategy.
Sure, that's the perfect strategy. You also got down at the front. You also got down at the front there. You've got Tamer Albaga and you've got Daniel Rubel side by side. So again, crews working multiple cars. Who came in first? Who has to sit? In that case, it's a little easier.
Yeah, because they just pull forward.
Yeah, because I think Tamer was ahead of him coming down on pit road.
Okay.
Dan just pulled up next to him, so Tamer will have an easy out. But yeah, the Rob Walker, Sean O'Brien machine. That's going to be a little bit challenging.
I think of like in Formula One when teams will double stack and it's always the second driver that gets caught out because he has to wait for the first driver to leave the pit stall before his team can perform service. This is like the driver decided the literal double stack, except they're stacked side by side, and I think that's great. Hold them on in there. All right, so let's take a look here with some of the pit stops that we have right now. Going to the front of the pack, Angus Rogers and Ed Dunn still towards the front. Of course, one of our GTB1 cars at the front of the field has taken to the pit lane there. And let's see who else. Claudio Kempf now moves up to third overall. Matt DiStefano, our Spec Cayman racer, who started this race, started the race 10th. He is currently showing as being in fourth position, and I think that's because he hasn't pitted, as we see that 5-minute timer now elapsing for many of these drivers as they are all now starting to head out. And Brian, there you go. All the cars that were ahead of Sean O'Brien and Rob Walker now have cleared out. So it looks like O'Brien may be able to get out of the pit lane safely there. Sam Amano is currently running in fifth with Tony Clinton running sixth. Amano and Clinton also in GTB1. They're currently running second and third in the class. Andy Murphy in his Spec Cayman running seventh overall, second in class. Dominic Belvedere running eighth. John Poor running ninth overall. He is, I think, your only I-class driver. And then Dan Ross in his Spec Cayman running 10th. Now, as a couple more drivers head into the pits, and Matt DiStefano now jumps up to second overall as a couple cars ahead of him. Like Mamano and Dunn heading to the pit lane.
Yeah, both of them going down there. And again, you've got such a long double stacked of pit cars. Ed Dunn really has nowhere to go. He's trying to find where he is. He's going all the way down to the end. He's going to be behind Greg Rochick, but I tell you what, it was had to work his way in front of Daniel Rubel, who was still sitting down there on pit road. So it's almost like a NASCAR race, Greg. You got to go around the guy to get into your pit stall.
Well, I mean, there's one team here, Brian, I think out of, if I remember right, out of Ohio, that's got like 17 cars that they're supporting this weekend. There you go. There's Sean O'Brien and Rob Walker as O'Brien manages to beat Walker off the pit lane.
Yeah. Again, that was that second and a half where O'Brien, because he was leading in Spec Boxster when he came in.
Yeah.
And you know, Greg, I put a message in there for you as well. I don't see Franklin Prey out here.
Yeah,
at
so they
all.
may not have made it.
I don't think they may even have made the race.
Yeah, I mean, they said that they were having issues with that chassis getting it up and running. And as I'm looking through our timing, I think that is indeed correct.
Yeah, I don't even see him under the GTB1 banner, even out there, even completing a lap. So
yeah.
Evidently that problem came as well.
Well, what did you say, Brian, that they were switching computers to
Well, no, they were looking at the computer, looking at fuel mileage and things like that to make sure that they, had what they needed. And then you had mentioned this morning that they were having a problem getting it started. And so,
yeah. I was just thinking that maybe they shouldn't be using a Windows 98 computer any longer. Maybe you should be upgrading. That's the IT person in me saying that, of course.
Yeah, I looked at the Ryan Farragut car just now, and they got 95.5% of that car rebuilt after yesterday's incident.
Oh my gosh.
It does not have a front bumper, so there's a little aerodynamic.
Really?
There's no front bumper on it. So,
well, I didn't want to point out what the Farragut car had written on the dashboard, but
yeah, well,
he broke the cardinal rule. Yeah, Ryan broke the cardinal rule. I think like one lap into the race yesterday, and oh well.
Yeah, still a lot of cars here down on pit lane here, Greg, all the way across. A lot of them are coming off now. So now with about 17 and a half minutes left to go in this race, this is where we're really going to start to see where everybody's going to start to check out. So may want to think about taking another break here real quick.
Absolutely, Brian. I was just going to suggest that we take our break, and when we come back, we're probably going to see the last round of pit stops coming up here as these drivers, they'll need to come to the pit lane and start their last pit stops within the next 7 minutes. So why don't we take that break, and we'll be back here with more racing action, more Porsche racing action from Watkins Glen in just a moment.
A household name in U.S. road racing for nearly 25 years, Toyo Tires has forged a reputation for winning, performance, and consistency. From the company's legendary Proxys RA1 to the two-groove Proxys RR, they have a history of getting drivers to the winner's circle. Their quality and performance extends beyond the track, offering owners a full line of premium tires for coupes to Cayennes. They are proud to build many of the tires right here in the United States at their state-of-the-art factory in Bartow County, Georgia. We thank them for their support of Porsche Club of America through club racing and the high-performance driver education program. Be sure to check out their contingency program if you race SP1 or Spec Boxster. To learn more about the full line of Toyo tires, visit www.toyotires.com.
Stable Energies takes pride in offering racers the very best in motorsport performance and safety equipment since 1978. Owner Bob Kikasik has been a PCA member for over 35 years and started club racing with PCA during its very first season. Located in northern New Jersey, Stable Energy stocks a wide variety of racing gear and motorsport products from top-quality brands like O&P, Alpine Stars, Bell, Hans, Schroth, Paget, and Bray Kraus. Stable Energies is a master distributor for Recaro and the U.S. importer for safety devices roll cages, as well as the Eastern U.S. distributor for RSS Porsche performance parts. You can shop with Stable Energies on their website, stableenergies.com. You can call and speak to a knowledgeable salesperson. They're happy to answer any of your questions. Or you can have one-on-one personal attention at their retail location just 10 minutes from New York City. PCA members receive special deals, so be sure to mention PCA Club Racing. Whether your fire system needs to be serviced, you need advice about a new race seater radio system, or you want to try on the coolest looking new driver suits, Stable Energies has yet covered.
Motion Control Suspension, or MCS, has proven to be the evolution of premium motorsports stamper systems. Their team is continuously developing and refining refining damper technology that is vastly different from other manufacturers, developed through hands-on involvement in GT and touring car racing. While their roots are in the highest levels of professional sports car racing, their products excel in all environments, from enthusiastic street driving to autocross track days to club racing and far beyond. MCS is much more than just a great product. They have many years of practical racing experience both on and off the track, extensive knowledge of vehicle dynamics, and an understanding of driver expectations and needs. MCS is proud to be a sponsor of Porsche Club Racing and invites you to lean on their expertise for setup support and consultation.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International, the Clash at the Glen, the first of our 2 endurance races today. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Brian Donati. We got Josh Ashby spotting for us. And Brian, time is running down. We got 15 minutes, actually 14 minutes left on the clock now. And that means drivers that have not come down the pit lane to start their 5-minute pit stops, well, they need to do so in the next 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think most of everybody, if they're not on the pit lane now, has already pitted or is already back behind the wall. We did have one car that actually went out a little bit under that 5-minute mark and had a stop and go, and that was Jordan Simonson in that 54 machine. Had to come down, do a stop and go, back out. So, and I know he was battling pretty heavily there in that G-Class machine.
Might have been battling for the lead because, well, he didn't spend enough time on the pit lane.
That is true.
So if you don't spend your entire 5 minutes in your pit box and leave early, you are obligated to come back down. The black flag you. Basically, you come down and you have a stop and hold until you hit that 5 minutes. And so, if you leave at 4 minutes and 55 seconds, you're only holding for 5 seconds. But the real penalty is having to come down the pit lane the second time because, of course, that transit time at 35 miles per hour, which is the pit lane speed, is a heck of a lot slower than the 80 miles an hour that you're going to be exiting turn 11 onto the front straight and continuing to gain speed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you can see it here. We talked about him at one point. Jordan Simon and Doug Crossman, they were battling early on for that G lead. Well, Simon has now dropped down quite a bit of time behind, and that's because of coming down, as you mentioned, Greg, the length of this pit road, getting into the stop and go, and then back out under that pit road speed.
All right, as we jump back with Rob Walker in his battle for the lead in Spec Boxster with Sean O'Brien, and Walker taking a quick look to the outside through the chute through turn 6. There's not a lot of grip, as we've seen a couple times this weekend, on the outside of that corner, but Rob Walker going to try to brake a little late. Let's see if he tries an over-under. We'll see if he switches now to the inside. He does, and he's going to try to drag race Sean O'Brien all the way down the sole of the boot down into turn 8, where he's going to have a good advantage here. And already we see Walker getting into the brakes a little bit earlier, going to give Rob Walker a fairly easy move there going into the heel, and that's going to move Walker now to the lead in Spec Boxster.
Yeah, I tell you what, Rob's probably getting tired of being behind that gray machine, that 441 machine, and then having to park next to him and on the pit lane there again. Both the crews take care of both of those cars, so that's the reason why that is, even though we joke about it. But two good cars that have definitely battled here all weekend long in the Spec Boxster. And this is a group, not only do we see it in the sprint races, Greg, this is what we see in the Enduros, whether it's a 65-minute or a 90-minute. It comes down to the last couple of minutes in this group, and it all depends on the pit stop strategy.
All right, yeah, and we do have a couple latecomers to the pits. Brian, the 521 car now heading to the pit lane. That is Del Al Rey in his 911 Cup machine. We've also got the 726 coming to the pit lane now a little bit, and that is Russell Maturana who's up right towards the very front of the field in his GTB1 machine. He now falls back, of course, as he's now taking service. And I believe the 231 of John Poor, our sole I-Class driver, on the pit lane now as well.
Yeah, I think he's been there for a couple of minutes, so he should be getting ready to go back out here momentarily. So unless he's got some other issues, but I do believe he's been sitting down there pretty close to his 5 minutes. So,
all right, well, the clock now under 10, and so the pits are officially closed, and nobody, unless they've got a mechanical issue they've got to resolve, they are not going to be coming down the pit lane for a splash of gas, although, again, given the amount of time that we spent under full course caution, I don't think that is going to be the case here for these racers. And so at the very front of the field now, as we look, we've got, let's see, Angus Rogers done out here as well. Kieran O'Rourke, Claudio Kempf. And in our different classes, Di Stefano, still your leader in Spec Cayman with Wahid Shahadi. Second, Dominic Belvedere. Third, in ME1, Gene Raimondi, Christopher Fahey, Frank Osborne. In 911 Cup, as Alray came onto the pit lane, he was leading the class, as you would expect. So that's going to move Dwayne Moses up to the lead with Lee Lasberg and Eric Olosific, your top three. Over in the G class, Doug Crossman, Jordan Simon, and Gil Mizrahi showing is your top three. So Simon is waiting to see as they come across the line. Crossman just completed his 19th lap, Brian, so we'll see if Mizrahi does come out ahead of Simon. I think there was about a 45-second delta between the two racers the last time by, so we'll check on that in just a moment. Over in SP3, it's Greg Rochik and Robert Linder with Damon DeCastro. Ken Agnaw apparently had some mechanical issues, Brian, and it looks like his 944 has been retired after only 13 laps. Over in Spec Boxster, of course, we've been watching Rob Walker and Sean O'Brien, Dan Rubel, Logan Stanko running third and fourth. And I think Sam Halabi just, Yes, Rob Walker there. Lots of problems on the exit of the bus stop. Runs very wide through the outer loop. That is going to more or less gift the lead back to Inspec Boxster to Sean O'Brien now. And with very little time, a lot of ground that Rob Walker has to make up.
Yeah, definitely going to have to fight back hard. Again, as you said, Greg, with just about coming up right on that 7-minute mark. How much did he save in that car, even though he overran that corner? He's going to have to work really, really hard. We saw it yesterday where he dropped back a little bit from Sean O'Brien, but then was able to reel him back in. So let's keep an eye on that, as you just said, because he's definitely going to have to work hard.
All right, getting word now that Chris Taylor in the Spec Boxster was a little bit short on the 5-minute pit stop, had to come down the pit lane and serve a penalty when that car rejoined. I believe it rejoined in 8th position, so dropping a number of spots from, I think, 5th down to 8th.
Yeah, once they waved him on, he didn't move. They told him to go. He get to the stop and go. They told him to go. He didn't move. They told him to go again. He didn't move. So I don't know if he stalled the car or not, but the car just would not go out of that box.
Well, so, Brian, maybe we'll see him in a couple of weeks, August 7th through 9th at New Jersey Motorsports Park, and maybe he thinks he can bank that extra time for the next Enduro. That he can. Maybe that was the excuse for this one. At Lime Rock, I took an extra 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, Watkins Glen, he took an extra 10 seconds not going out. So now his pit stop's only 4 minutes and 50 seconds when if he goes to New Jersey. Yeah, no doubt there. Like I said, it looked like, they waved him on. He just didn't go anywhere. He kind of sat there. They kind of asked him what's going on, and then they waved him on again, and then he finally took off.
Oh my! And another penalty called in for John Poor. I guess it's good when you're the only driver in the class, Brian, because John Poor has now picked up a penalty as well for shorting his pit stop. All right, as our leaders now heading into turn one, we've got 5 minutes left on the clock, and I think we've got that's Angus Rogers and Russell Motorana right at the front of the field. The two Caymans, and actually the three, because Ed Dunn is right there with them as well. The number 98 car trailing along. So let's stick with this for just a little bit, Brian. Rogers, Motorana, and Dunn. After all the pit stops are done, they are right in a row, separated by just a couple tenths. As a matter of fact, when they crossed the line to start lap number 22, Motorana was only 7/1000ths of a second back from Angus Rogers directly ahead as they're coming up on some slower traffic now. And Dunn taking a look to the inside on Motorana as they go into turn 6, not able to pull up under braking to get up alongside. It's kind of like kryptonite on the outside of turn 6.
Yeah, definitely had to back out of it right there, coming down through there. But it looks like he's going to stay right tucked in. Again, as you said, they're getting ready to come up on one of the slower cars. They made quick work of that, coming up out of the bottom of the boot there, heading up to the hill. I tell you what, it's going to come down. This again, another class that comes down to the very end, the last minute and a half, and here we are seeing it again with 3 of these cars who were out in front pretty much in GTB1 all weekend as well. So
indeed. All right, so as they come to the line, Brian, likely going to be starting the penultimate lap with 2 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. As the time is down, the pits are now closed, and they have been closed for the last 6.5 minutes or thereabouts, except for the drivers that have to serve those penalties. And we see there one on the pit lane right now. Here as our top 3 racers in GTB1 make their way through traffic, and Angus Rogers, is that Tom Arambega, I think, as he's trying to get past the Spec Boxster now, coming down into turn 2, and he's given himself just a little bit of breathing room now over Motorana and Ed Dunn.
Well, I tell you what, Ed Dunn's going to move up into second place over Motorana, because I tell you what, Motorana really went wide down into turn number 1, actually went almost to the driver's left of the curbing there, and so that ended up allowing Ed Dunn to get underneath him. Yeah, I tell you what, I think Russell Motorama, Greg, has a problem. He is well off the pace.
Yeah, and there's some smoke coming out of the back of that Cayman as well.
Yeah, so definitely unfortunate for him as they get down to the last couple of minutes in this race to have that issue right then and there.
Yeah, and there you can see, quite a bit of smoke coming off the back. He knows that there's something wrong, and that is unfortunate for him, and not so much that he's not going to end up with a podium here, Brian, but likely good amount of work ahead of him after this race is done.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look maybe a little bit further back past our top 3. Kieran O'Rourke in his in the white Cayman, he is your GTB3 leader. Of course, Claudio Kempf in that beautiful baby blue number 66 just went through our shot here, running 5th overall, your leader in GT4. And Matt DiStefano, Mike Beers running 6th and 7th. DiStefano continues to lead in Spec Cayman. And he's got, it looks like Dominic Belvedere is 2nd in Spec Cayman. He'd have to find his way past 3 GTB1 drivers, and I don't think that's going to happen, Brian.
Yeah, I don't believe that's going to happen, as well as Angus Rogers, and now is working the last lap of this race. Got about a 1.5 lead over Ed Dunn overall. Then Kieran O'Rourke, as you talked about, in that GTB3 class.
Yeah, now they are coming up on a lot of slower traffic here, Brian, but let's watch if Rogers can dispatch with them before they get to the bus stop, because if he's got to follow him into the bus stop, that may allow Ed Dunn to close up considerably here. And there you go. Rogers, he gets past 2 of the 3 cars, as we see the flaggers there displaying the blue flags to let the drivers know that they've got faster traffic approaching them. And now making his way around the outside of that 944 is Angus Rogers, and Ed Dunn just not able to close things up here as he now finds himself trapped absolutely trapped coming through turn 6 through the traffic.
Yeah, he's going to have to go in between both of them. Hopefully give him enough room. It does look like he is, but most definitely got trapped behind that 944. And then Dan Rubel was on the driver's left of him as well, I believe. Yeah, it does look like that's Dan Rubel's car. It really had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Basically had to pretty much coast through that corner.
All right, so just a couple corners remain here for Angus Rogers. In some of our other classes here in the 65-minute Enduro, Jane Raimondi continues to lead ME1. Over in 911 Cup, Dwayne Moses, when we started lap number 24 for them, had 18 seconds on Erica Losevic, another 6 seconds back to Donald Anger, Lee Lasberg, another 10 seconds back from there. Over in the G class, Doug Crossman with Jordan Simon, who had to serve that penalty earlier, 26 seconds in arrears. Gil Mizrahi third. In SP3, I can pick him out because there he is running down into the 90 with the checkered flag in the air. Greg Rochek will take the win in SP3 over Robert Linder with Damon DeCastro third. In Spec Boxster, and looking to see if they've come across the line. I think they have Sean O'Brien taking the win over Rob Walker. Dan Rubel finishing about 30 seconds back in third. Logan Stanko fourth. Hammer Albaga, who we just saw go into turn 1 in the pink 165, he will finish in fifth. Let's see if we could, who else have I not picked up? Claudio Kempf in GT4 is your winner, as Jose Roque had to retire the car after 11 laps in his 1986 911. Chris Musante, we saw down at turn 1 early on, I think 7 laps into this, probably on the 8th lap, retiring the car at turn 1. Kieran O'Rourke was our sole racer in GTB3 today. He finished on the lead lap. Over in Spec Cayman, Matt DiStefano, your winner, with Dominic Belvedere just now crumbing across the line, about 25 seconds in arrears. Andy Murphy will finish in third, with Yuri Marasinov finishing fourth, while Heed Shahadi finishing in fifth. And I think that's going to wrap things up for our first of 2 endurance races this morning. Brian, we've got one more to go. That is for our purple group, which are primarily the Cup cars, a lot of the very same cars that you saw in our red sprint race group yesterday, our Porsche Sprint Trophy PCA racers as well. Should be a great race for them.
Yep, looking forward to that one.
All right, so let's do this. Let's take a break, and when we come back, more endurance racing action from Watkins Glen and the Clash at the Glen. Don't go away. Come PCA Club Racing at Golden Gate Region's Kahuna at Laguna with host POC. This event at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca will be held July 31st to August 2nd, and there'll be practice and qualifying on Friday with 3 sprint races held over Saturday and Sunday. PCA Club Racing license candidates are welcome. In addition to racing, there'll be a license school, which will include the practice and qualifying sessions, which are required for all rookie license candidates. The points races at this club race will earn points towards the West Coast Series, as well as the PCA Club Racing National Championship Series. Sign up today at clubregistration.net.
Mantis Tuning is your partner in ECU and gearbox calibrations. Exploit the full potential of your race car with a custom calibration tailored to the modifications you've made to the car. Other services include cloning a spare ECU, repairing and recovering data from a damaged ECU or TCU, and deleting those annoying check engine lights for missing components. Engine swaps, secondary air deletes, rev limiters, larger throttle bodies, and off-road catalytic deletes are not a problem. Speak to our team at a race near you or email info@mantisautosport.com.
Since 1995, Speed Sport Tuning has been providing clients throughout the Northeast with honest, dependable, and expert Porsche service. Speed Sport Tuning operates out of a modern 32,000-square-foot facility in Danbury, Connecticut, conveniently located near the Danbury Mall and Danbury Airport. Speed Sport Tuning uses the latest factory diagnostic equipment and OEM parts to keep your vehicle running in showroom condition. From routine maintenance and service to major repairs and performance upgrades and track support, Speed Sport Tuning is ready to serve you with expert service you can trust. Learn more online at sstauto.com.
At Daniel Jacobs Garage, they're passionate about servicing European car brands like Porsche. They combine dealership-level expertise and precision with the friendly, personalized service and competitive pricing of a local independent garage. Whether you drive a 911, Cayenne, or any other Porsche, their skilled technicians are dedicated to keeping your vehicle performing at its best while providing a welcoming, hassle-free experience right in South Ferry, Connecticut. To keep your vehicle running smoothly and reliably, trust Daniel Jacobs Garage for expert Porsche service that delivers both quality and value without the dealership wait or cost. Visit their website today at danieljacobsct.com. PCA welcomes all Porsche clubs, owners, and enthusiasts to the 12th Annual Works Reunion Monterey on August 14th, 2026, the Friday preceding the Monterey Concours d'Elegance. We invite you to come to the Monterey Pines Golf Course to see a breathtaking array of Porsches, from rare to current models and everything in between. This year, we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the introduction of the 924 in 1976, as well as the series of transaxle Porsches. The 924 was both innovative, with the transaxle layout achieving balanced handling, and crowd-pleasing, as the entry-level model made the Porsche brand more accessible to a broader audience. You're not required to be a PCA member to participate in this celebration of Porsche automobiles. However, you must register to corral or be judged, display your cherished car in model-specific Porsche corrals, or enter the Porsche judged field and compete to win in more than 20 prize categories.
360 Consulting provides advisory services to the global nuclear, aerospace, energy, and chemical industries in the areas of safety, operations, risk assessment, and risk management. Established in 2024 by an engineer with 45 years of experience in over 20 countries around the world, we are ready to provide innovative solutions to your most important challenges.
Come join racers, sponsors, spectators, and volunteers at this year's Rock the Summit, September 18th through 20th. Rock the Summit is the club race for PCA Potomac's Founders Region, and it's the longest-running PCA race in the nation. This year will mark 35 years of racing. Be on the high-energy race and join us for live music, a barbecue dinner, roaming beer carts during happy hours, that's after the track goes cold, and some other treats like Kona Ice. Our 100-plus highly committed volunteers are ready to make the race weekend the best you'll ever experience, whether you're a racer, spectator, or a sponsor. See you at Rock the Summit 2026.
Get ready for Rocky Mountain Thunder, the PCA race at High Plains Raceway in Colorado, September 19th and 20th. Rocky Mountain Region hosted the very first PCA club race in 1992 at Second Creek Racetrack, and members of the Rocky Mountain Region take pride in this historic event. The region has run the race at Second Creek, at Pueblo Motorsports Park, and now High Plains Raceway. This race will earn points towards the 2026 Mid-America Series, the 2026 West Coast Series, as well as the 2026 PCA National Championship Points Series. The race weekend will feature two 30-minute sprint races on Saturday and a 65-minute enduro race on Sunday. Registration can be found online at clubregistration.net.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International, the 2026 Clash at the Glen. And again, I want to thank our fine partners in crime at Connecticut Valley region of the PCA, and also our event sponsors. Forgot to mention our sponsors for the last race, Stable Energies and HQ Racing. Thank you so much to them. This race brought to you by Michelin and Cashel. So thank you to them as well for bringing us and helping bring you coverage of this second endurance race. So Brian, we've talked about the endurance rules. Just to break it down, 5-minute pit stop. Pits don't open until 15 minutes into the race. The pits close at 10 minutes remaining in the race. You can't pit in under a full course yellow. There you go. That's the rules. Remember them and you'll be fine. Let's run down the starting order, starting on the pole. Brian, did I get it right? I hope I got it right.
You got it right. You got it right quickly.
There you go. And it took like 35 minutes for us to go through those the last time. I figured I'd knock them out in like the first 10 seconds. All right, let's take a look at the starting order here. And as we saw with our last race, there may be some drivers, depending on issues with cars over the course of the weekend, that may not have made the grid. Starting pole in the GTA 3 class, Corey Friedman in his GT3R, alongside Earl Tucker the fourth, who's had a great weekend in his GTC 8 2022 Cup car. Rene Robichaux starting third in a GTA 4 class GT3R car. Colin Mazzola in GTC 8 starting in fourth. Kevin O'Connell, starting fifth in the number 59 GTA 4 class GT3R. Then we got Topher Everett, and we'll see. We've had some onboard video from Topher over the course of the weekend, and I'm getting word now that we do once again. He's driving the number 38 machine, scheduled to start in sixth position. Joseph Viola starting seventh, another GTC 8 car. That's the number 262 machine. He's in a 992 car. Then we've got Joel Johnson, who's the first of our Porsche Sprint Trophy PCA entries, and of course he's on those Yokohama tires. He's going to start eighth in the 227 machine. Then we've got Musafar Gafarov starting 11th in the 288 STG class machine. He's going to start alongside Russell Farhang in STG as well. The 212 car starting 12th. And we've got Rick Stafford over in GTA 4 starting 13th. He's in the 999 numbered car. And alongside him, starting 14th, back to STG, it's the 233 Cup car of Darren Fence. Then we've got GTC 8, Scott Diger starting 15th. Chapman Decote starting 16th in the GTA 4 machine. That's the number 81 car. Jordan Bortolotti in GTD3, the first of our GTD3 cars. Jordan will start 17th on the field in the 84 car, with Kevin Sears starting 18th, driving the 194. Then we got the team of Keith Jessic and Walter Jessic. They are going to be starting 19th in the 112 entry. That is a GTC 8 992 Cup car. And Doherty starting 20th in the number 40 GTC 7 Cup car. And then we've got Price Ford starting 21st, and Price is in GTC 8. Then Griff Asplund driving his GTD3 entry, GT4 RS Club Sport 22nd. Nicole Robichaux starting 23rd in the number 90 GTD3 Cayman GT4 RS Club Sport, with Angelo D'Amico starting 24th in the 728 GTC 7 Cup car. As the lights are out on the pace car, we'll pick out a few more drivers here, Brian, as they come to the line. We're starting 25th in the 751 GTD3 Cayman GT4 RS Club Sport, Chris Dooley, with Billy Johnson starting 26th. He's in the number 24 GTD3 entry. Then Rami Farid and Steve Lessman, both in GTD3. They're going to start 27th and 28th. And then Brent Asplund and David Peterman in both in GTD3, starting on the 15th row, 29th and 30th, as the green flag is in the air, and they make their run down towards turn one. Friedman and Tucker, actually looked like
it's
maybe
Tucker
missing
and Robichaux,
at least one on the front there. Exactly, that's Rene Robichaux in the green and black number 91 machine, as Corey Friedman not taking to the grid. Earl Tucker started on pole.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, where we saw early on going down into turn one, down into that 90, in our first group, we saw a lot of give and take. didn't see a lot of give and take here in this group here. Drivers are trying to get out and get out quickly. I think this is where we talked about it before. Get out, get as much as you can, and then worry about the second half of this race as it unfolds. But there was not a lot of give and take. There was a lot of side-by-side action.
Yeah, and when we saw this during the red sprint races yesterday as well, Brian, when you have so many Cup cars and GT4 cars that are so closely aligned. They may be in different classes and they may have some very minor changes between them, but when you've got a whole slew of 991.2 and 992.1 Cup cars towards the front of the field, you've got GT4R machines, and you've got the GT4 RS machines, all again also somewhat, especially under the lower speeds of a start, very closely aligned. You're going to have that big jumble going into turn one, but now things are going to start to I think to open up a little bit as these drivers maybe work on their strategy a little bit more. The other part of this is, as opposed to what we saw in the first endurance race, I think the fueling is going to be key, because a lot of these cars, they'll be able to make it 55 to 60 minutes. They may not be able to make it the whole 65 minutes. So I think a lot of them are hoping that there will be a caution somewhere along the lines to bring them into the fuel window. And, we talked earlier about, typically when we run these 90-minute enduros, a lot of these Cup cars do require a second set of tires, at least rear tires. Whoa, jumping down the inside there. Brian, that looks very much like what we saw yesterday. I think that was that Kevin Sear jumping down the inside, down towards the apex in his GTD3 Club Sport.
Yeah, I tell you what, a lot of side-by-side action again still through there, and I believe that was trying to make that move, thought better of it at the middle of it, and ended up getting back in line there. But I think you're right, Greg. These guys, 55, 60 minutes is pretty much a fuel, and I don't think they're going to make that 65 minute mark there. The thing you're also going to see here is I see a lot of other teams down here on pit lane. They have their second driver, eventually getting ready to go in that car. So I think you'll see maybe some tires. Teams are starting to get those ready to go. If they don't need those, you're definitely going to see some fuel, while they're changing those drivers. Because again, when you're fueling the car, the driver cannot be in the car. So you've got to make that determination pretty quickly what you're going to do first.
All right, it looks like we've got one car now, Brian, already having some mechanical issues here early on. One of our Cup cars. I was going to say, if it weren't for the fact that it's so low to the ground already, I was wondering if maybe he had a tire down, but certainly something not right there. We'll get the number on that car momentarily. As you can see, that's interesting, is the flaggers are covering that slow-moving car with a white flag, which is essentially the sign for a slow-moving vehicle ahead. And there were a number of racers there that were very hesitant, Brian, to pass going into that area. Yeah. Again, if the racer in me goes, well, this is a prime opportunity for me to pick up a couple spots, but nobody was willing to take it. And all right, so we'll check the number on that car as it's going to come down the pit lane. Again, technically the pit's not open, but for mechanical issues, they certainly are. The pits won't open for about another 10 minutes for the scheduled 5-minute pit stops.
Yeah, that car is on pit lane. We'll see, and I believe, I'm not sure, is that the... Trying to look at the number here. It's very small. It starts. Is that the
it's big for the youngins, Brian. It's just us that it's small for.
It's the 288 machine.
The 288. That's Mustafa Gafarov, who started third in the STG in the Sprint Trophy class for the 991.2 and 992.1. Cup cars, and so it looks like his
no, he's coming back down the pit lane. So I think I will say this, and all our fans will know this. You were actually right this time, because he did have a tire going down, because they did change the right front tire, I believe. Well,
and thankfully it doesn't take much. Those cars all have just the single center nut to replace, and so it didn't take much. And good to hear that they've got that car going back out.
Yep, definitely back out on track already. So, again, that doesn't count towards that 5-minute pit stop there. So definitely going to have to come back down again. And I'm sure at that point you may see all the other 4 tires get changed again, just to be on the safe side with that car.
Well, I was going to say, Brian, as he only ran about 3/4 of a lap under speed, I don't know. Don't think there's going to be a big difference in tire wear between what they put on the car and the other 3. So, all right, let's check in here. And again, early days as we are currently working lap number 4. Over in GTA 4, Rene Robichaux, who started on the front row with a good advantage over Cliff Kayer. The Kayer machine starting quite a bit further back in the field. Rick Stafford running in 3rd. Over in GTC 7, and Doherty getting around Angelo D'Amico early on. Thad Berger running in 4th. Let's see. In Sprint Trophy for our GT4 RS Club Sports, the STC class, Peter Habestad, I think, Brian, looking for a little redemption after he finished 2nd in our final sprint race of the day. It's just he and Doug Lawson out on track currently in STC. He's got about 4 seconds on him. Over in GTC 6, Kerry Brown, and this might be difficult for us to track down, but Kerry Brown in the white 707 Cup car, and Brian Weathered in the 69, the blue Cup car. When they completed the last lap, they were pretty much nose to tail. We'll try and track them down. I think they actually might be somewhere in one of these large packs, which is going to be difficult to pick them out. But we'll see if we can catch up with them a little bit later. Over in GT3, Garrett Krieger, Charles Liu, Steve Garrison.
Yeah, pretty much everybody right now just kind of staying kind of in there, not really making a lot of movement here. Kind of got themselves spread out a little bit. Keep an eye out for that battle there. I'm looking out the window here as well, waiting for them to come by the start-finish line. It could be them right there that just went through that shot there. Comes the overall leaders there. There's Sear going by as well.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick out where they are in the group.
Okay, so they're just
One,
Kerry
yeah.
Brown just went down past.
Yep, there they are.
Yep.
And then it's the white car that just left in this black car right ahead of the red, white, and blue flag liveried car.
Right,
that is the battle that we're looking at. And so it's opened up just a little bit here. Brown has been able to extend out. Ran on the last lap, actually ran about 9/10 faster than Brian Weathered as they're starting to set into a groove. We'll see if he can continue that, but he's got a little bit of fresh air right now, albeit, whether it doesn't have any traffic between he and Kerry Brown, that he's managed to get around some of the cars directly, certainly got around a couple of the cars behind him. So we'll see if he can pick up some ground here early on as we're just about 10 minutes in. Early on in GTC 8, Earl Tucker now with about 4.5 seconds on Belastenko. Joseph Viola, another 7 seconds back from there. And I'm looking to see what else might be close. We saw Kevin Sear try to make that dive down into turn 1 on the prior lap. Trying to make up for lost time is Jordan Bortolotti is, about 6 seconds up, or probably about 4 seconds up the road at the moment.
Yeah, from class battles, they've kind of separated themselves out across the board. We just had the 234 go back behind the wall. So Scott Diger going to end his weekend here early on. But yeah, from a class battle perspective, everybody's kind of stretched out a little bit. Again, where you're having the battles on the racetrack is really not a class battle, just a on-track battle.
Yeah, and like we said, we have so many of these cars, Brian, that are very closely aligned as far as specs. across the different classes. That this is kind of what you would expect to see. Again, these racers, they were all gridded based on their fastest times from the sprint races, so very, very close.
Well, this is where you get, we talked about this in the first Enduro, is where you get some of these drivers that, look, they're taking care of the equipment the first half of the race. If they have a driver change, that driver gets in, and now they can go full on sprint, for the last half of the race when they make after they make that pit stop. So again, that's where this is where when we talk about the class battles being so spread out, it's because they're taking care of the equipment early on,
right?
With these Cup cars.
All right, and so we have the team of Asplund, Griff, and Brent. They're now up to 19th position, starting 22nd overall. They're in the blue, orange, and black GT4 RS Club Sport. That's one of our GTD3 machines. And they're currently running right in the middle of the pack, running, I think, 4th in class. Fairly close to Chris Dooley, who's running 3rd in the 751.
Yeah, I'm kind of going down through here, seeing where their other battles are. You talked about it, Angelo D'Amico in that GTC 7. Sitting in second. You talk about Ann Doherty leading by a bunch, but then you've got Thad Berger in the 160 machine right behind Angelo D'Amico as well. So again, that's a battle for second in that GTC 7 class. Coming across the start-finish line now.
Here they come across the line.
Well, Thad's fallen a little bit further back than he was there a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he had some type of an issue one of the turns.
Well, speaking of drivers that had issues in the turns, Brian, one driver off over at the bus stop. Let's take a look and see what happened here. May have been some contact there, Brian.
Yeah, going into the turn and getting a report now from our spotter that there definitely was contact between those cars. So,
and we'll see.
Is that Doherty in the 40 with the yellow stripe?
Let me see here.
Black
She's in
and
the
yellow.
40.
So,
see, I thought, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I think it was Russell Farhang that was the car right near it let's.
Yeah, may have been either Price Ford. We'll get a number on it. I mean, was able to continue, pull back out, and keep going. I'll see it when it comes by the window here with the black and yellow. And that's why I was thinking it was Andordi with the yellow stripe down the front.
Yeah, but I thought.
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. They're getting ready to come up through here now. Be able to pick out the number here, get a better look at it to determine who that was that spun. So, and that definitely was. It was Ann Doherty in that 40. In that 40 machine that had that contact and spun.
All right, and Brian, we are just now hitting the 15-minute mark in this race. Actually, we will be in 30 seconds. And when we do, the pits will be open.
Yeah, don't want to pit too soon. Tell you what, look for that car, that 40 car now that we talked about with strategy and everything else. Look for that with that big slide in the bus stop. Maybe look for that car to put on four tires.
Yeah, and Brian, we are getting word now that, yes, it was Ann Doherty, but I believe the other car involved was Russell Farhang in probably not Russell Farhang, Price Ford in the 12. And that car now pulled behind the wall just past the bus stop, and so it looks like that car's day is now done. So I think we found the two drivers involved.
Yeah, that'll be a long time to sit there with 50 minutes mark, and the pits are now open.
I mean, with the car over there, as long as the car is still drivable, they could drive it back to the paddock from there.
Yeah.
So.
Keep an eye out the window there. As we got the 844 on pit road.
First to hit the pits.
Yeah, we are starting to see that.
And that is Gianluca Petiti in the GTC 8 Cup car. As we still have the local caution being displayed over at the exit of the bus stop. And I'm wondering if maybe wondering if perhaps the 12 car didn't make it behind the wall, but just made it to the corner station down there around the hill.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one down there. So when we went to that last shot right on the exit there, see, I don't see anything there.
Right. Well, if the it's look up, Brian. If you look
there
up,
it is. Yep.
Driver's
left side of the tire. Yeah.
Yeah. Driver's left.
We'll have to take it, but yeah, just to the left of the of that
station,
tower, up on the on driver's left of the track up there. So yeah, definitely see it.
All right, why don't we move on here? We've seen him over there. We'll see if that brings out a caution. That'll definitely be a long time to sit there, Brian, because where that car is, especially right near the big catch fencing, like you said, if the driver tries to get out of that car, it's going to bring out a full course caution immediately anyhow. But that car is right up against the tire wall. I don't think that driver is getting out and going anywhere.
Yep.
All right, the 288 car now coming down the pit lane, and sounds like that car is taking tires.
Yeah, they are taking tires. Remember, that's the driver that had the problem on the right front.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's
early on. So now they've definitely changed the two left side tires, and we'll see. Maybe they just And you're exactly right. Again, I can't believe I just said that.
Again.
You know, two times in a row, but they are leaving the right front on there. They changed that. Put the
but
put the
look,
rear
this is the perfect time to take the 5-minute pit stop. I mean, that's
absolutely
the window just opened. Get it done. Get it out of the way. You can change those tires while that 5-minute pit stop is underway, and you're good to go. Gafarvi had already lost time having to get that first tire replaced early on. But, there you go. Also, the 88 car now heading to the pit lane and taking service here early on.
Yeah, that's a driver change as well. So they just did a driver change there. That's a Cliff Kayer machine. I'm not sure who's getting in the car. I believe Kayer just got out of the car. So we don't have who the driver is listed. Maybe it'll pick up when they go by the start-finish line coming in. The 112 is also now on pit lane. Again, so this is where we're starting to see, Greg, when we get to that 25-minute mark of this race here, where drivers are starting to come in, because as you mentioned before, definitely can finish a fuel.
Yeah, and so Brian, the car that was up against the wall got it back up and running. My understanding is that it took the short chute to the left of this camera over here, heading down where the NASCAR racers would go, to our left, those race cars right, and they consider it to be in a safe spot. So going to be watching the race from there as we jump back to the action. Good little fight now coming down into the toe of the boot. Who do we have here? Looks like is that the Grinch car? Is that the Krieger car possibly?
Yeah, this right here at the top of the hill, this is the one that has Ann Doherty mixed in with it, and I think that's the Splunge machines as well. And then you've got another one here coming in, I believe, is that Nicole Robichaux, Billy White Johnson, and Angelo D'Amico in there as well. I
think you're right.
Two battles right there.
And a little bit further back, I think we'd see Topher Everett, who is out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. I knew this, Brian. Just not that I'm not that I'm a fan of our 2026 Stanley Cup champions, but he's out of the Hurricane region down there in Fort Mill, South Carolina. A vascular surgeon that won Spec Boxster back in 2019 and has been running this 992 Cup car for quite some time.
So you're jumping ship from the people to the north now that they've won down there in the south?
Absolutely not. You will never find me as a Carolina Hurricanes fan. Even though they did their best to pick up the capital, pick up an ex-Caps defender in John Carlson, that they couldn't make that pay off. All right, let's jump on board now. Who is this? And this is Topher Everett, as mentioning before, as we go on board with him. The track map is looking a little bit better than it did yesterday, Brian.
Yeah,
now it's just a straight line.
Well, I tell you what, when he got down into turn number 1, down in that 90, you could see the front end moving a little bit there under that heavy braking. So that front end of that car not handling the best that he wanted, especially under heavy braking going down the hill. We'll see what happens here in the bus stop as he comes through. But yeah, he got that 90 degree, or not 90 degrees, he's got a 45-degree angle as the track map. So that's probably what that front end is doing.
That's from when he flew over in his private jet, I'm sure. But as he's coming up on some slower traffic now, let's watch how this Cup car goes and handles. This is a 992, I think 992.1 Cup car 2023 chassis, as he works his way past the Grinch, past Garrett Krieger.
Tell you what, he's going to come up on that traffic here, Greg. It's going to be interesting to see how he maneuvers through that, if he even does, or just stays in line right here, because obviously that's not going to be a battle in class. He's going to get right up on the back bumper there.
Yeah, that's Darren Fence ahead of him. Yeah, I think that was Darren Fence. Possibly that was right ahead, and there you go, as that car is off, and hopefully he stayed out of the wall.
I think that's the 160 machine. I think that's that Berger right there. In there. He was in the battle with Sevelo's car. Yeah, he looks like he's got contact into the wall there. So this very well could, Greg, bring out that full course caution.
Yeah, indeed. If we're going to have almost 50% track blockage there, that likely very soon will, as race control, going to want to pick up where our leader is. They want to hopefully then be able to send the pace car out to slow the field down. If some of these drivers were if they knew the situation there, and Brian, if it were me, if I passed that car over where it was over at turn 8, I'd be making an immediate run to the pit lane.
Yeah, there's a flurry of action right now, Greg. You've got Doherty on pit lane. You've got several other cars that are now hitting. You've got Billy White Shoes Johnson down there on, and again, I hope he really does have white shoes, because that would be the nice funny joke. That would be
amazing. And we said the Houston Oilers helmet.
Yeah, as now we are under a
full course caution
here. So again, Greg, sorry, I think you were going to say the same thing I am. The cars that are on pit road, the time starts for them, so they're
safe.
Clear to stay there. Yep, they're safe, which is going to flip flop a lot of the standings here once we are able to get back.
Yeah, indeed, Brian. Again, so the pits close under full course caution, but for those drivers that came down the pit lane before we went to full course caution, that's why I was saying, as soon as you see that car sitting there, I'd be heading straight to the pit lane. Let's do this. Let's take a break, as we are under full course caution. We'll thank some of our partners and sponsors. When we come back, we'll reset the field. Hopefully, we'll be ready to go back to green flag racing here at Watkins Glen and the Clash at the Glen. Don't go away. Pirelli and Porsche have been a winning combination around the racing world for years. Pirelli is proud to bring that relationship to PCA Club Racing yet again in 2025. Make sure to see the guys from Frisbee and find the right Pirelli tire for your vehicle, or check them out on the web at frisbeeracetire.com. Pirelli powers nothing without control. When you pack up from the raceway and head home on the highway, remember that the engineering excellence Michelin strives for in racing is applicable to our passenger and light truck tires too. Michelin is proud to continue its national sponsorship of Porsche Club of America and Club Racing. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Looking to decrease lap times on the track without an engine overhaul? GT Racing has a wide range of fiberglass and carbon fiber body panels, along with European racing headers, exhaust systems to lighten your car and accelerate all the potential horsepower of your engine. Time for a change? Convert your 944 into a turbo or a 924 GT, or your 911 to a 911 RS, RSR, or 935. Talk with Joel at GT Racing. He'll help you choose the winning combination of lightweight Porsche parts and header systems to set you on the right track. GT Racing is your one-stop shop for your Porsche needs. GT Racing is a national sponsor and proudly sponsors tech inspections at PCA club races. GT Racing also sponsors the Best Prepared Car Award, a $100 gift certificate at each race. Call Joel at GT Racing today at 1-800-797-2911 or find us on the web at www.gt-racing.com.
Our first club racing sponsor, Porsche Cars North America, funds the club racing news and sponsors the Workers' Choice Award, considered the most prestigious award given at a club race. Thank you to PCA for offering vital support to our club racing program. The Sentinel Video System by Sentinel Racing is your one-stop shop solution for sharing your in-car video. The Sentinel system can integrate up to 3 cameras and incorporate a full data stream for track map and gauge overlays, and broadcast it all via dual 5G cellular modems, utilizing whichever service provider has a stronger signal to any of the popular live streaming services. Much of the in-car footage in this broadcast is provided by Sentinel. PCA members get an additional 10% off. Contact Sentinel today through their website, sentinel.racing. Welcome back to Watkins Glen and the Clash at the Glen, the best of Porsche Club of America endurance racing for you right now. And Brian, before we go and run down the field, wanted to let everybody know about some events that we have coming up soon. Our next broadcast is going to be August 8th and 9th from New Jersey Motorsports Park in beautiful Millville, New Jersey. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's not forget, we do also have our event at Laguna Seca, the Kahuna at Laguna, Brian. July 31st through August 2nd, and then we will be at New Jersey Motorsports Park just a week later. If you want to catch those, of course, you can see them here on the Porsche Club of America YouTube channel. All right, let's as we're still under full course caution as they're trying to get that car removed, let's take a look and see where we are here with a number of our different classes. Rene Robichaux, currently your overall leader and leading the GT4 class, where he had, I think, almost a full lap on Chapman Dakota. A little bit less, still within, I think Dakota is still on the lead lap, but almost a minute and a half, a little bit over a minute behind. Rick Stafford running third in the class. Over in GTC 8, Joseph Viola, your leader, over Topher Everett, who has gotten around to Earl Tucker. So we may check back in with Topher in a few minutes here. Belastenko currently running fourth in class. Over in Sprint Trophy, Joel Johnson looking to follow up his sprint wins from yesterday. Russell Farhang running in second. Mark Poling, Darren Fentz running third and fourth. Over in GTD3, Jordan Bortolotti, Kevin Sear, Chris Dooley, and the Asplunds running in fourth. Over in GTC7, Angelo D'Amico, your leader, with Ann Doherty now showing as 2 laps down. She had brought that car down the pit lane after that incident at the bus stop. Tad Berger in the 160 machine. Brian, you say you thought that was the car that we had up over turn 8. Yeah, and so Tad, of course, showing 4 laps down. His day likely is now done. Over in Sprint Trophy for the Caymans, Peter Habestad and Doug Lawson. In GTC 6, Kerry Brown and Brian Weather. That's the race that we were watching a little bit earlier. And in GT3, Garrett Krieger, Charles Liu, Steve Garrison. And that's one, if we can get to Krieger in the 01 in the green and black Club Sport. Charles Liu is in a white Club Sport, the 079. I think they are right next to one another on track. And let me see if we can find where they are in the whole field here, because I think they are, well, they're running literally right in the middle of the field. I think like 19th. Actually, Noam Eliyahu in his GTC4 car is right between them. But I think they're running 19th and 21st are Krieger and Liu.
Yeah, all
start
those cars,
counting.
Yeah, all those cars that were on pit road there, Greg, as you were mentioning, led by the Andordi car, was the first one that went back out. They're just now coming by the start-finish line.
Krieger, there's Krieger, the Grinch car. The dark green Cayman that just went through the shot, and then Lou is in the there's one car between them. The turquoise car, that's Noam Eliyahu right there, and then we've got Charles Lou. So that's the battle for the lead in GT3.
Yeah. But again, I don't believe any of them have made their pit stops either, so they'll have to come down and make that pit stop at some point in time, and to confirm that was the 160 machine that was up against the fence there. So.
And I think right behind him, David Wells is in the blue number 60 machine, blue with the black stripe, kind of angled, almost arrowhead pointed black stripe down the hood, coming into the corner now. And he is over in GTD2.
I think
he's our sole racer in GTD2. So if you want to watch the battle for the lead there, that's who you watch.
Yeah. I think our top 13 or top 15 cars have not been, on pit road as of yet. So look for them, right at that 33-minute mark. Look for them to take that green flag when we go green flag running next time, which I think we are coming to the green flag this time by. Look for them to do a lap, maybe 2 laps, and then dive on pit road for their service that they need to
indeed,
make.
Is we're just just at about the halfway point of this race right now. This is a 65-minute endurance race, and we're just about to hit the 33-minute mark. So we're going to go back to green, and as you said, Brian, the racers are obligated before they come in for their scheduled pit stops to start the race under green. And we just had one driver come down through the apron trying to make an early pass there through 11.
Yeah. I think that may have been the
Krieger car.
as the thing. We've got Kevin Sear coming down on pit road again. I think that we'll see how long he sits there. But again, I believe they have to cross the start-finish line.
Yes.
In order to do that, they're putting him up in the air, and they're going to change tires. Again, we'll let them make that call at the end, but I do believe they had to do it.
The call would be, Brian, if he comes down and he takes tires, regardless while the pits are technically closed, he's going to have to do it. He's going to have to do his separate 5-minute pit stop.
Yeah.
So, maybe he had a tire down and he couldn't make it another lap. But that's the timing just really, unfortunately, off for him on that. And I would suspect, as we've got a couple drivers, and that's actually that GT3 battle that I was talking about there a second ago, Brian, between Krieger and Lou going through the dirt at the exit of the bus stop. I think we're going to see a lot of action on the pit lane here coming up in just a moment.
Yeah, I think guys are trying to position themselves, drivers trying to position themselves to get in there. And you've got a plethora of cars right here trying to get to the inside there to come up out of the boot right there, come up that hill, get themselves in the right position.
Well, yeah, and I think we've got a lot of our drivers that are technically at the front of the field. I think we just saw Joel Johnson, also Chapman Dakota. They're coming through some of that slower traffic. They're trying to get around some of these slower cars as quickly as they can, so that they can, not lose any time getting to the pits. A couple of drivers as they come around now, not pitting in here, but I think you're going to already see a couple of drivers now coming down the pit lane.
Yep. I think Peter Habestad's going to be one of them coming down. I think you've got Joel Johnston is now on pit lane right now, coming to the service of his crew. This is where a lot of drivers are starting to make it, Greg. This is the flurry we've been talking about. And again, we saw it earlier, just because we had the 2 back-to-back full course cautions. The Esplunges are on pit road as well. Look for that driver change to happen.
All right, and it looks like, is that Rami Farid we just saw leave the pit lane?
No, I don't believe so. I did not see Rami Farid out here.
Okay.
Today in this. Remember, he was part of that incident yesterday. down there in turn number 1. So yeah, the splunge machine there making a driver change. Second driver getting ready to go into that car. Again, Joel Johnson up on the jacks. Looks like they may be changing a tire there. They had it up there. Does look like they did change at least one tire. But again, still, Greg, a lot of these drivers, as you talked about, a lot of our front-end drivers that were stuck in behind that lap traffic there, now coming down the bottom of the hill here, really trying to position themselves so when they do have to make that that pit stop there, they're trying to get away from their competitor in their class. Maybe Greg's taking his 5-minute
I am.
mandatory
That's
pit stop.
exactly what I'm doing.
I thought that's what you were doing. You're
All right,
taking
well, yeah, a good amount of debris there right in the middle of the track. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. We can clearly see it now with the telestrator.
Can the telestrator draw an arrow, though?
I believe the telestrator can draw the arrow.
Yeah.
If we go back to that shot for the debris, and look, that's pretty big debris there, Greg. So I would not be surprised if we don't have to slow them down, because that's right into the angle. There's your arrow. That's like almost like a diamond there, kind of coming in. But yeah, you can see that right here. That is very, very big.
Much better. There it is. Thank you.
In order to do that, if you get too wide in there, it's really going to do it. We're going to highlight it there. We're going to give it the old horseshoe highlight as well on the screen. Charles Liu now in pit road as well, Greg. So that battle that you were talking about a couple minutes ago there with Charles Liu, and that's going to dissipate here for a little bit because he is on pit road for his 5-minute pit stop as well. So.
All right, well, the time is coming down. And again, especially for these teams that have two drivers, just to be equitable, wanting to get in and get the second driver about half the time. And there we'll go, as we do have the debris flag out over to, wow, that was close.
So I tell you what, I know you got the debris flag. They're going to have the deep red. These drivers are getting super close to that. And if you come in here too wide, somebody's not going to have anywhere to go, and that's going to put a dent pretty much into the front end of somebody's car.
Yeah, that's a big horseshoe to hit, Brian.
Yeah, that it is. Both of the Robichauds are on pit road as well.
Oh, and Brian, again, I'm getting word now that piece of debris just got hit. Let's take a look. Let's continue to take a look. Let's look some more.
It's coming right about here.
And there you go.
Oh, there it is.
Well, that's a little bit more pliable than I thought it was, Brian.
Yeah,
I don't think that did a lot of damage.
I think maybe a bottom of a front splitter there, and not so much as I was thinking. A piece of metal underneath it that came out from one of the back ends of the cars.
All right, so now most of our drivers have seen that it's there, and it didn't move all that much. Let's take a look here at the front of the pack. Coming through is again a lot of drivers have cycled. We've got Chapman DeCote now in that gray and green number 81 towards the front of the field, with Chris Dooley right behind in his Club Sport GTA 4 and GTD 3 classes. Then we've got Joseph Viola and Topher Everett, who still have not come down the pit lane. Actually, is Viola on the pit lane right now in the 262?
Keep an eye out here. I'm not seeing him yet.
Okay.
And he's changed colors on us this year. He used to be the blue and yellow, and now he's kind of gone to. I believe he may be down on the front, down there. I think he's in a black and white.
That's what I thought.
With a little bit of red. I think he may be down there on pit road as well.
Okay.
Drivers
making
going really
a run.
wide.
Earl Tucker Jr., who is currently sitting 7th overall, going side by side right now with, I think that's Jordan Bortolotti in the 84 machine, Brian, as they came out of turn 9.
Bortolotti using a lot of the racetrack here.
Yeah, indeed.
Today.
So Earl Tucker now. All right, so Brian, we are seeing a number of drivers head to the pit lane right now, and it looks like one of those drivers just about ready. Looks like he was waiting to cross that line before he hit the 5-minute mark. I don't know if that counts or not, but why don't we do this? We are just a touch over 40 minutes into this 65-minute race. This race brought to you, of course, by both Michelin and Cashel. So let's do this. Let's take our final break and take our viewers all the way to the checkered flag here at Watkins Glen International as we wind up the 2026 edition of the Clash at the Glen. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Join hundreds of PCA members on the 4th annual Truthin at Sea and the 5th event cruise with Princess Cruises from Saturday, September 19th to Friday, September 25th. The cruise starts in Vancouver, Canada and ends in Los Angeles with stops in San Francisco and Santa Barbara. On board, there will be special entertainment, Porsche celebrity appearances, seminars, competitions, dinners, and the highly anticipated Porsche Diecast Concourse at Sea. To learn more and register, please visit PCA.org and click on the Events tab.
The passion of KMC is German high-performance automobiles. With 20-plus years experience building and maintaining championship-winning race cars, they offer a huge advantage compared to other establishments. With their engineering knowledge and fabrication skills, they can build just about anything. KMC provides high-quality service and support, whether your car is a daily driver, a weekend track car, or a full-time race car. Visit them online today at kmcauto.com.
Pro Plus hub stands are at the core of a complete setup and alignment system. Everything you need to build a professional system, including our brand new laser strings, is available at hubstands.com. Hubstands systems are racer-proven everywhere, from club racing to IMSA, SRO to WEC, with applications for every Porsche, from 356s to 935s, from Lotus to Ligier. They're also made in America. Precision alignment and setup systems at hubstands.com. Way better, far faster.
Get ready for the Schattenbaum Showdown, the PCA Club race at Thunderbolt Raceway at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Hosted by the Schattenbaum region, the event will be August 7th through 9th and will feature a dedicated vintage and air-cooled run group. There will be 2 sprint races on Saturday and 1 sprint race on Sunday, as well as a 55-minute endurance race on Sunday. The Jersey Shore PCA region will be hosting a DE the Wednesday and Thursday before the race in case you need more track time. And as always, there'll be an advanced solo DE run group during the race weekend. Registration is open, so visit clubregistration.net and sign up today.
And we're back here at Watkins Glen. It is the Clash at the Glen, and it's our final race of the weekend here, Brian. And as we check back in right now, Chapman Ducote has worked his way to the front of the field in his GTA 4 992 Cup car. That's the number 81 machine. Chris Dooley and Earl Tucker running second and third overall. Tucker leading Bella Stanko. We may want to check in on this battle here right now. Tucker and Stanko running first and second in GTC 8. Tucker in one of our silver GT3 Cup cars, Stanko in the white Cup car. We'll check in with them before they head to the pits and They've got about 30 seconds right now on Colin Mazzola as we still are seeing a number of racers head to the pit lane. Sounds like we have at least one that just incurred a black flag penalty for not taking the full 5 minutes, which they are required to do. And we had it as I don't think it's the 121, because I don't think we have a 121 out there. So we'll try and get a confirmation on that number.
Tell you what, Balastanko, even though it says white, Greg, he is actually in a black
car. That's what I thought.
Black one. So I don't believe it is the 121. Actually, there is a 121.
Is there?
So, yeah, there is definitely a 121.
It just wasn't on our grid.
It is Doug Lawson.
It's Doug Lawson. Yeah. Doug Lawson.
Long stop and go there. He definitely cut his pit short.
That may be the one that we saw, Brian, at the pausing and waiting at the timing line at the end of the pit lane.
Because he is sitting there for quite some time, so it's not just a normal stop and go. They're holding him there.
Well, that's because I think it's that car, because we saw it stop at the timing line right there where the two cones are before they come pit out, thinking that, well, maybe that's the 5 minutes is the end of the pit stop. It's like, no, you have to be in your pit box at a stop for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So apparently, as a matter of fact, I think it is that same car. Yeah, I think it's the same car.
Yep. Yeah, that was the longest stop and hold I've seen. With all of the penalties through over the last year and a half that we've done these go through there. So I'm going to pick up. Let's try to see if we can find that Earl Tucker machine in that gray silver number 241, and then Balastanko's in that black number 22. I'll wait for them to come by here, but if we can, and you know that is in that GTC 8 class.
Yeah, we'll catch them as they come through, because that I would suspect, Brian, because I don't think either of those racers have pitted in yet.
No, I think they have.
I
think the one that has not is Chapman Dakota. I believe has not come down the pit lane.
Okay.
I have not seen him. Again, he's a full lap up on the field.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would explain it.
So we'll see. Everybody else is kind of in that lap 21 to 20 range. And I don't believe Chapman would
and
basically
Dakota's
lap
working
down.
lap number 23 right now, so that would explain it.
Yep.
As Ducote started this race. So let me jump down through the order here. Chapman started 16th. And I guess with Corey Friedman not starting the race, started 15th.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they are Earl Tucker and Stanko just crossed the start-finish line, heading down in.
The last two cars in that group that we're watching right now.
Yep.
The silver, that's the silver 241, and then the black 22 directly behind.
Yeah.
And Tucker's already dispatched with one of the slower cars coming up the hill, as we've got a car off on driver's right. Brian,
that's Joel Johnson. That is Joel Johnson, and Chapman Dakota is on pit road now, Greg.
Okay.
So if that brings out a full course caution, that's actually going to play right into his hands.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, so.
Yeah, it'll be absolute perfect timing. Now we've seen, because that car is still in the car is still in that runoff area, technically, and not out on the race surface. He may be okay over there. We'll find out in a moment here what race control wants to do. But certainly, if I'm Chapman Dakota, I'm thinking, oh, please, 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 let them bring out the full course caution. And we are getting word from race control they're going to leave that car there.
Oh, that's a long 16 minutes for Joel Johnson.
Yeah.
To sit there. Brief flag being shown there in turn number 8 as well. So.
Well, and they've just withdrawn that now. They just pulled it back in.
They just pulled it back in.
Which means somebody hit whatever was there and bounced it off the pavement. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, so what we'll see here is Earl Tucker or Balastanko. That will be the battle for the overall lead, as well as in that GTC 8
Yeah,
class.
and there you go. Stanko pulls right, comes down the inside, and manages to make up a ton of ground at the end of that lap and pulls right to the back of Earl Tucker, as Tucker's now has a lot of slower traffic ahead of him. And right behind, trying to track who that is coming up the hill, following up behind them.
Yeah, because that was a heck of a run coming out of there, right up into that battle as well.
And yeah, you can see the corner workers there furiously waving the blue flags. Let these drivers at the front of this group know that Tucker and Stanko are coming through.
We almost went 3 wide through that turn there with one car right on there. I think that was the Tucker machine. There's another car that's just in front of them as well that is flashing the lights. I don't believe that's any one of them. That is another car that is just as fast.
let me through so I don't get lapped is what he's saying.
Yeah. Keep an eye on who that is there when it comes
if you
by,
could track when they come onto the front straight, I'd be interested to see who that is. You can see furiously flashing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's Stanko flashing.
Yeah. See if we can see as much fast. That car is much faster than there. Is that the 88 of the? And again, I don't believe that is Kyer in the
No,
car.
I don't think that's Cliff Kyer.
They did a driver change, and I'm just wondering if that is the 88 that's there, because he would be.
Yeah, and again, we only have some limited information on who some of the co-drivers are here today.
So that is the 88. That is the Cliff Kyer machine.
Yeah.
That was definitely heavily flashing there. And then you've got Earl Tucker and Bella Stanko now. They go to the top of the board with Chapman DeCote still sitting down on pit lane. So that was the 88 trying to stay on the tail end or trying to get that stay in front of that lap if they do throw that double yellow out.
All right, well, I'm gonna see if I can get some information on if there is another driver in that car. Let's see. No, and I don't have any information on the 88 car.
Yeah.
If who the co-driver might have been. Well, let's see here.
There was a driver change. I did see the driver get out of that car because it's right in front of the window here when they made their stop. So
yeah.
I do believe everybody, I think that was Chapman DeCote is the last car to make that mandatory pit stop. So again, with 2 minutes left to go, a lot of heavy dust over there, and that's the Earl Tucker machine going down out of turn number 6 there. Again, everybody's used as much as I can.
This is interesting, Brian. We know that Corey Friedman didn't start the race. He was scheduled to start on pole. I think he may be sharing a car with Rick Stafford, the 999 car. And Stafford right now, or at least that 990. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, let me jump in here. So it sounds like they're getting a call over the radio of an emergency. It looks like we may be going to a full course caution here. Pretty much everywhere. Yeah,
all right, and apparently, Brian, there's a car that might be another car over at the bus stop. There you go, right towards the inside, right driver's left.
Oh, there's a car of a driver's left.
Yeah. So, and Brian, there's a whole field. If you look before they get into the bus stop, there is a lot of debris strewn across the pavement over there that I think is causing the problem. So I would expect, and I think we may be here at full course caution now. We see that being displayed over at turn 1. Yeah, and so there you go. We're now at a full course caution. So, and we've got a little bit less than 10 minutes remaining here in this race. And so if there were any drivers on that had not pitted in yet, Brian, and I guess of course the DeCote car did come down the pit lane just about 6 minutes ago and has already left. So that car is in good shape, but at this point the pits are closed, and as we hit the 10-minute mark in about 25 seconds, they're going to stay closed for the remainder of this race, regardless of whether or not we're at full course caution or not.
Yeah, and I believe everybody has made their pit stop.
Yeah.
Their mandatory pit stop. So yeah, anything that happens now is obviously an unscheduled pit stop that they would be making. So
All right, so let's do this as we're, and hopefully we'll be able to get this clear prior to the end of this race. Let's take a look at our different classes. Over in GTC 8, we've got our overall leader, Earl Tucker, with Belastenko running in second, right behind. Colin Masola and Joseph Viola running third and fourth in the class. Viola yet to cross the start-finish line to start lap number 25. Over in, let's take a look with the GTC 8 class. We just saw GTC 8, pardon me. GTA 4. Where Cliff Kayer's entry, the number 88 Cup car, is currently your leader with Rene Robichaux in second, and then Chapman Ducote in third. In Sprint Trophy G for the Cup cars, Russell Farhang is your leader with Gafarov second, Darren Fence third. Wow, there's a lot of debris over there, my gosh. Over in GTD 3, Chris Dooley, your leader with David Peterman and Nicole Robichaux, your top three. Jordan Bortolotti currently sitting fourth in that group. Over in GTC 7, Ann Doherty, your leader with Angelo D'Amico running second. Peter Habestad leads STC Sprint Trophy for the GT4 RS Club Sports with Doug Lawson running second. In GTC 6, Kerry Brown leads Brian Weathered, who is down on, hasn't started lap number 25. And in GT3, Garrett Krieger over Steve Garrison and Charles Liu. That was one of the races we were watching early on. That is now opened up to almost 16 seconds between Krieger and Garrison. But yeah, Brian, there's a lot of work there for the emergency services teams who've done amazing work this weekend so that our Porsche racers could maximize the amount of green flag racing at the track, which is so hard to do sometimes, again, because of how close some of those walls are or those fences are. But they've done a great job helping get our racers on track, as have all of the corner marshals as well. We want to thank them for standing out on the corners. And Brian, of course, we want to thank all the volunteers from the Porsche Club of America who have made this race run so smoothly. Of course, the Connecticut Valley region of the PCA, the race organizers, but we have so many volunteers that come from around the country to make sure that these PCA club races go off like clockwork.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a great feeling when you know that you have that many that come in here and to come and put this event on. So this is always a fantastic event, large car count, and we definitely cannot do it without them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's take a look here as we are still under full course caution. And you see there the number of volunteers. Brian, it looks almost like Turn 1 did yesterday.
Yeah, we could probably count all those.
Yeah, but that also tells you here at Watkins Glen the amount, the size of the emergency services teams and how many vehicles they have to clean up. We could see there with one of the sweeper trucks at the entrance to the bus stop, and what they have to clean up what can be major incidents at a racetrack, and why they can do it so much more quickly than many other places around the country. But that probably isn't a consolation right now to our racers behind the wheel, who with about 6 minutes remaining in the 65-minute race have to spend the time behind the safety car or pace car. And I'm starting to wonder, Brian, whether or not we're going to be able to go back to green flag racing here. We may get possibly one lap, as they were there. They're going to get the other race car that had been sitting there off to driver's right in the little free zone there at the bus stop as well. Kill two birds with one stone, or pick up two cars with multiple trucks or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's pick up multiple cars with multiple trucks.
Yeah,
I think is what we're going to do. But yeah, getting the Joel Johnson car out of there. Hopefully we can get this cleaned up pretty quickly, where we may get back to one lap. Again, with some of the drivers making the pit stops at the end of the window, right there just before that 10-minute mark. There was a lot of drivers still on pit road with about 17 minutes left to go.
Yeah.
Well, now you're at the 12-minute mark, and then this came out. Unfortunately, that has put a lot of drivers that were potentially battling for class wins and class podiums now moving it way in the back. Where they're going to have to get through a lot of lap traffic if they want to be able to compete for those podium spots.
Yeah, indeed. And Brian, I don't know if you've noticed this, but in the hopes of being able to get these drivers back, now remember, we're still bound by the clock, but the pace car doing its part as well, slowing the pace down considerably, not only at the bus stop itself, but around this track in the hopes that if they get that bus stop cleaned off, they have the field backed up enough that we could actually get a lap, maybe 2 laps under green. They managed to pull this off yesterday morning when we were under a full course caution, I think with under...
You know, it's yeah. I think that when they come back here, they are going to be getting kind of the one to go. And like you said, Greg, I'm not sure whether or not that will be under green or under the full course caution. Hopefully, it is that one to go where they're able to finish this lap and then go green the next time.
Well, let's see, Brian, as the lights are still on the pace car. If they cross the start-finish line there, we've already heard that they're going to get the white flag when they come underneath the starter stand. So let's, Dustin, if we can try and get a shot of the pace car. I don't think we need a shot of the pace car at this point with the teams still over there at turn 5. This race is going to end under caution here, Brian. So let's do this. Let's go. And we'll let them come to the line. I'm going to start running down, since we've already had a couple laps under caution. I'm going to run down the field here, and we'll break things down by class. We'll start off right at the front here, where Earl Tucker, Belastanco, Colin Masola, they're going to be your top 3 in GTC 8. They're going to finish. They are your top 3 on course as well, directly behind that pace car. Finishing 4th overall and taking the win in GTA 4 is Cliff Kayer. Rene Robichaux will finish 2nd in class. Chapman DeCote 3rd. Rick Stafford will finish in 4th. Nicole, let's see here. Next in taking the win in GTC 7 is going to be Ann Doherty, and Ann is going to finish 5th overall. And as we work through here, Angelo D'Amico, Tad Berger will round out that 3-car field. And tell you what, then we'll move over to STG, where Russell Farhang will take the win in class, and Musafar Gafarov will finish 2nd. Darren Fence will finish 3rd. Mark Poling and Joel Johnson 4th and 5th. Let's take a look at some of our other classes here. Our sole racer in GTD2 is David Wells. The number 60 machine here is going to finish 29th overall. In STC Sprint Trophy for the club sports, Peter Habestad will take the win over Doug Lawson. In GTC 6, Kerry Brown will win over Brian Weathered. In GT3, Garrett Krieger will take the win over over Steve Garrison, with Charles Liu finishing in 3rd. In GTC 4, Noam Eliyahu is our sole racer in the class. He's going to finish 34th overall. And I think that rounds out the field here, Brian. And look at that, in just the nick of time, the emergency services teams get everything cleaned up over at the bus stop. Unfortunately for all our racers, a little bit of false hope because this is their last lap, and we're going to finish this race under caution as there's 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it came down to that. I think that, again, with some of the late pit stops that we saw in those windows, I really wish we could have seen the battles for some of these cars that were at the back half of the field trying to catch back up to the class leaders that you just went over, because I think that would have been an interesting little battle there towards the end.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Brian. All right, so again, let's take a look at what we've got coming up next couple of events here on the Porsche Club of America Club Racing schedule. Next broadcast is going to be the weekend of July 31st, August 1st, and August 2nd. It's the Kahuna at Laguna. I love saying that, Brian.
I was hoping you were going to say it like that.
The Kahuna at Laguna. There you go. And that is going to be a joint event with the Porsche Owners Club. They're out on the West Coast. We've got sprint racing. We got endurance racing for you as well. And then the following week, August 8th and 9th, Porsche Club of America Club Racing heads to beautiful Millville, New Jersey, and New Jersey Motorsports Park's Thunderbolt circuit for another road race. And so, unfortunately, this is going to end under yellow, but I want to thank all the great people that helped put this broadcast together. Of course, I want to thank our director today and all weekend long, Dustin Ollis, our producer from Driver's Eye Live, Brendan Kazmarek, Josh Ashby, our spotter this weekend, and of course, you, Brian. Thank you so much.
And thank you, because you were the one who kind of, you told everybody what we were doing. No, I'm kidding. Basically, you're right. With everybody that we have on this live stream and everything out there and everybody out there as well, we could not do that without everybody.
All right. Well, so for the whole team here, and of course the great folks from Porsche Club of America, I'm Greg Ginsburg. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in just a few weeks from Laguna Seca. Have a great one, everybody. Pirelli and Porsche have been a winning combination around the racing world for years. Pirelli is proud to bring that relationship to PCA Club Racing yet again in 2025. Make sure to see the guys from Frisbee and find the right Pirelli tire for your vehicle, or check them out on the web at frisbeeracetire.com. Pirelli powers nothing without control. When you pack up from the raceway and head home on the highway, remember that the engineering excellence Michelin strives for in racing is applicable to our passenger and light truck tires too. Michelin is proud to continue its national sponsorship of Porsche Club of America and Club Racing. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Looking to decrease lap times on the track without an engine overhaul? GT Racing has a wide range of fiberglass and carbon fiber body panels, along with European Racing headers, exhaust systems to lighten your car and accelerate all the potential horsepower of your engine. Time for a change? Convert your 944 into a turbo or a 924 GT, or your 911 to a 911 RS, RSR, or 935. Talk with Joel at GT Racing. He'll help you choose the winning combination of lightweight Porsche parts and header systems to set you on the right track. GT Racing is your one-stop shop for your Porsche needs. GT Racing is a national sponsor and proudly sponsors tech inspections at PCA Club races. GT Racing also sponsors the Best Repaired Car Award, a $100 gift certificate at each race. Call Joel at GT Racing today at 1-800-797-2911 or find us on the web at www.gt-racing.com.
Our first club racing sponsor, Porsche Cars North America, funds the club racing news and sponsors the Workers' Choice Award, considered the most prestigious award given at a club race. Thank you to PCA for offering vital support to our club racing program. The Sentinel Video System by Sentinel Racing is your one-stop shop solution for sharing your in-car video. The Sentinel system can integrate up to 3 cameras and incorporate a full data stream for track map and gauge overlays, and broadcast it all via dual 5G cellular modems, utilizing whichever service provider has a stronger signal to any of the popular live streaming services. Much of the in-car footage in this broadcast is provided by Sentinel. PCA members get an additional 10% off. Contact Sentinel today through their website, sentinel.racing.
Join hundreds of PCA members on the 4th annual Truthin at Sea and the 5th event cruise with Princess Cruises from Saturday, September 19th to Friday, September 25th. The cruise starts in Vancouver, Canada and ends in Los Angeles with stops in San Francisco and Santa Barbara. On board, there will be special entertainment, Porsche celebrity appearances, seminars, competitions, dinners, and the highly anticipated Porsche Diecast Concourse at Sea. To learn more and register, please visit pca.org and click on the Events tab.
The passion of KMC is German high-performance automobiles. With 20-plus years experience building and maintaining championship-winning race cars, they offer a huge advantage compared to other establishments. With their engineering knowledge and fabrication skills, they can build just about anything. KMC provides high-quality service and support, whether your car is a daily driver, a weekend track car, or a full-time race car. Visit them online today at kmcauto.com.
Pro Plus hub stands are at the core of a complete setup and alignment system. Everything you need to build a professional system, including our brand new laser strings, is available at hubstands.com. Hubstands systems are racer proven everywhere, from club racing to IMSA, SRO to WEC, with applications for every Porsche from 356s to 935s, from Lotus to Ligier. They're also made in America. Precision alignment and setup systems at hubstands.com. Way better, far faster.
Get ready for the Schattenbaum Showdown, the PCA Club race at Thunderbolt Raceway at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Hosted by the Schattenbaum region, the event will be August 7th through 9th and will feature a dedicated vintage and air-cooled run group. There will be 2 sprint races on Saturday and 1 sprint race on Sunday, as well as a 55-minute endurance race on Sunday. The Jersey Shore PCA region will be hosting a DE the Wednesday and Thursday before the race in case you need more track time. And as always, there will be an advanced solo DE run group during the race weekend. Registration is open, so visit clubregistration.net and sign up today.
A household name in U.S. road racing for nearly 25 years, Toyo Tires has forged a reputation for winning, performance, and consistency. From the company's legendary Proxys RA1 to the 2-groove Proxys RR, they have a history of getting drivers to the winner's circle. Their quality and performance extends beyond the track, offering owners a full line of premium tires for coupes to Cayennes. They are proud to build many of the tires right here in the United States at their state-of-the-art factory in Bartow County, Georgia. We thank them for their support of Porsche Club of America through club racing and the high-performance driver education program. Be sure to check out their contingency program if you race SP1 or Spec Boxster. To learn more about the full line of Toyo tires, visit www.toyotires.com.
Stable Energies takes pride in offering racers the very best in motorsport performance and safety equipment since 1978. Owner Bob Kikasik has been a PCA member for over 35 years and started club racing with PCA during its very first season. Located in northern New Jersey, Stable Energy stocks a wide variety of racing gear and motorsport products from top-quality brands like O&P, Alpine Stars, Bell, Hans, Schroth, Paget, and Bray Kraus. Stable Energies is a master distributor for Recaro and the U.S. importer for safety devices roll cages, as well as the Eastern U.S. distributor for RSS Porsche performance parts. You can shop with Stable Energies on their website, stableenergies.com. You can call and speak to a knowledgeable salesperson. They're happy to answer any of your questions. Or you can have one-on-one personal attention at their retail location just 10 minutes from New York City. PCA members receive special deals, so be sure to mention PCA Club Racing. Whether your fire system needs to be serviced, you need advice about a new race seater radio system, or you want to try on the coolest looking new driver suits, Stable Energies has you covered.
Motion Control Suspension, or MCS, has proven to be the evolution of premium motorsports damper systems. Their team is continuously developing and refining damper technology that is vastly different from other manufacturers, developed through hands-on involvement in GT and touring car racing. While their roots are in the highest levels of professional sports car racing, their products excel in all environments, from enthusiastic street driving to autocross track days to club racing and far beyond. MCS is much more than just a great product. They have many years of practical racing experience, both both on and off the track, extensive knowledge of vehicle dynamics, and an understanding of driver expectations and needs. MCS is proud to be a sponsor of Porsche Club Racing and invites you to lean on their expertise for setup support and consultation.
Come to Lime Rock Park on Saturday, August 1st for the 4th annual Porsches at the Rock, a day of fun with activities for the whole family. In addition to a full high-performance driver education happening on track, there will be an autocross, a Porsche Cars and Coffee gathering, a Porsche-themed swap meet, food trucks on the Midway, a 944 corral, and parade laps around the track at lunchtime. All activities on the Midway are free for spectators. Visit cvrpca.org to learn more about Connecticut Valley Region's on-track and social events planned throughout the year.
Are you ready to unleash your competitive spirit? HQ Racing is the largest multi-level and largest indoor-outdoor go-karting facility in the United States, right in Peekskill, New York. With top-of-the-line SOTY carts, HQ Racing delivers a one-of-a-kind racing experience to anyone, from first-time amateurs to seasoned pros, in a family-friendly environment perfect for unforgettable gatherings and events. HQ Racing also has carts with side-by-side seating, great for children or people with special needs. Plan your adrenaline rush today by going to hqracing.com to book a reservation. Walk-ins are also welcome.
The United States Roofing Company is the primary source for all roofing needs. They have unparalleled experience installing, maintaining, inspecting, and repairing every type of roofing and waterproofing system. They work on buildings of any size and any height, from small local roof projects to some of the largest roofing projects in the Mid-Atlantic region, including the Pennsylvania Convention Center and the Jacob K. Javits Convention Center in New York City. Every type of roof and project is within their capabilities. They offer world-class design and consulting services for all types of roof projects, including solar and green roofs. USRC is known for completing projects on time, within budget, and to the complete satisfaction of our customers. Learn more at usroofing.com.
The Chicago Region Porsche Club is excited to host the 34th annual club race and 60th driver education at the internationally renowned 4-mile, 14-turn technical track at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Taking place Labor Day weekend, all Sunday-Monday races at the Road America Challenge will earn points towards the 2026 Sprint Trophy Club Sport, Triple Trofeo, and PCA National Championship Series. In addition, the event features a Porsche parade using the original Elkhart Lake race circuit, as well as a car show and gourmet dinner banquet downtown on Saturday evening. It'll be fun for the whole family, plus friends. Register today at clubregistration.net.
At Hankook Tire, we strive to create a universal moment when the car and driver become one. Our aim is to develop a safer, more pleasant, and more comfortable driving experience from the moment the driver turns on the engine. Through strong braking power, smooth handling, driving comfort, and guaranteed safety, Hankook products deliver an authentic driving experience beyond mobility. Our tires provide total control of speed and direction while ensuring safety and comfort on the road. Embrace driving emotion and embrace the feel and excitement of being behind the wheel with Hankook Tire. Hankook competition tires are the perfect match of performance and longevity. Visit hankookmotorsports.com to buy today.
OG Racing has been a national sponsor of PCA Club Racing since 1998. Headquartered in Sterling, Virginia, and staffed by PCA members and club racers, OG Racing has always carried the industry's best in racing safety equipment and performance parts. The best products from manufacturers like Sparco, OMP, Alpine Stars, helmets from Bell, Stilo, Rue, brake pads from Performance Friction, Paget, and Hawk, just to name a few, and are always in stock and ready to ship from their 12,000 square foot warehouse. Give OG Racing a call or visit them at www.ogracing.com and sign up for their newsletter.
Octavio makes small batch tequila. They take a different approach to distilling their award-winning 100% agave tequilas. Made in the Jalisco region of Mexico, Octavio's tequila are aged twice as long as traditional tequilas, achieving a smooth-tasting experience, rounded with notes of oak and vanilla. Octavio focuses on sustainable distilling practices that use 60% less water and 50% less energy than traditional techniques. Octavio produces an añejo and a cristalino. Both can be ordered and shipped nationwide by visiting octaviotequila.com. Get free shipping when you order 2 or more bottles.
Club Reg is a supporter of PCA Club Racing and the provider of all registration for each of our races. Clubregistration.net is a unique service because we put all of our customers first. You can use our services for free or with a small credit card handling fee. How can you go wrong? Included with both are custom solutions tailored to meet your needs. Find out more information at clubregistration.net.
PCA welcomes all Porsche clubs, owners, and enthusiasts to the 12th Annual Works Reunion Monterey on August 14th, 2026, the Friday preceding the Monterey Concours d'Elegance. We invite you to come to the Monterey Pines Golf Course to see a breathtaking array of Porsches, from rare to current models and everything in between. This year, we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the introduction of the 924 in 1976, as well as the series of transaxle Porsches. The 924 was both innovative, with the transaxle layout achieving balanced handling, and crowd-pleasing, as the entry-level model made the Porsche brand more accessible to a broader audience. You're not required to be a PCA member to participate in this celebration of Porsche automobiles. However, you must register to corral or be judged, display your cherished car in model-specific Porsche corrals, or enter the Porsche judged field and compete to win in more than 20 prize categories.
360 Consulting provides advisory services to the global nuclear, aerospace, energy, and chemical industries in the areas of safety, operations, risk assessment, and risk management. Established in 2024 by an engineer with 45 years of experience in over 20 countries around the world, we are ready to provide innovative solutions to your most important challenges.
Come join racers, sponsors, spectators, and volunteers at this year's Rock the Summit, September 18th through 20th. Rock the Summit is the club race for PCA Potomac's Founders Region, and it's the longest-running PCA race in the nation. This year will mark 35 years of racing. Be on the high-energy race and join us for live music, a barbecue dinner, roaming beer carts during happy hours, that's after the track goes cold, and some other treats like Kona Ice. Our 100-plus highly committed volunteers are ready to make the race weekend the best you'll ever experience, whether you're a racer, spectator, or a sponsor. See you at Rock the Summit 2026.
Get ready for Rocky Mountain Thunder, the PCA race at High Plains Raceway in Colorado, September 19th and 20th. Rocky Mountain Region hosted the very first PCA club race in 1992 at Second Creek Racetrack, and members of the Rocky Mountain Region take pride in this historic event. The region has run the race at Second Creek, at Pueblo Motorsports Park, and now High Plains Raceway. This race will earn points towards the 2026 Mid-America Series, the 2026 West Coast Series, as well as the 2026 PCA National Championship Points Series. The race weekend will feature two 30-minute sprint races on Saturday and a 65-minute enduro race on Sunday. Registration can be found online at clubregistration.net.
Partners of club racing for over 30 years, Eurosport Porsche Road and Race is a Porsche specialty shop with 2 locations in Illinois, operating since 1984. Whether you have an early air-cooled car from the 60s or Porsche's newest cup car, we can provide all your service and parts needs. We are the one-stop shop for all of your Porsche repairs and race builds, with a large inventory of Porsche parts and race gear.
Apex Racing Performance, premier racing outfitters, provides racing equipment and product support to motorsports enthusiasts. A member of PCA since 1991, Clark Hammerly and his wife Linda both hold competitive racing licenses and install, use, and test the equipment they sell. This enables them to provide unbiased technical assistance on installation and use of their products. From helmets and race apparel to personal cooling and fire systems, Apex Performance also stocks performance friction brake pads for all Porsche applications. They invite you to visit their showroom in Merle's Inlet, South Carolina, shop online at www.apexperformance.net, call toll-free, or view their track schedule online. Mention PCA Club Racing to receive a discount on your next purchase.
Demon Speed Motorsports offers a full line of products for your race or track car. With their background in Porsche GT3 Cup cars, they bring the same quality and durability to the street and track replacement parts that they produce. These products include suspension links, motorsport-style center lock parts and kits, brake rotors, and wing uprights. Now, Good Arrow Wings and RacingTireWarmers.com are part of the Demon Speed family. With this, they now offer Good Arrow Wings with mounting solutions for most Porsche models. Racing Tire Warmers offer tire warmers to custom fit your race car to make you faster and safer on track. To learn more about Demon Speed Motorsports and see their great products, visit them at www.demonspeedmotorsports.com.
Trailix Trailer sets the standard for super lightweight, superior craftsmanship, and extraordinary quality. If you need a trailer, whether it be enclosed or open, to tow your Porsche, Trailix should be your first and only choice. Trailix has many sizes to fit your Porsche perfectly, and their unique touches ensure that your trailer will be as functional as it is beautiful. Trailix Trailers sponsors the Novice Racer Award, a gift certificate given to the second-time racer who exemplifies the club racing spirit.
Come PCA Club Racing at Golden Gate Region's Kahuna at Laguna with host POC. This event at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca will be held July 31st to August 2nd, and they'll be practice and qualifying on Friday with 3 sprint races held over Saturday and Sunday. PCA Club Racing license candidates are welcome. In addition to racing, there'll be a license school, which will include the practice and qualifying sessions, which are required for all rookie license candidates. The points races at this club race will earn points towards the West Coast Series as well as the PCA Club Racing National Championship Series. Sign up today at clubregistration.net.
Mantis Tuning is your partner in ECU and gearbox calibrations. Exploit the full potential of your race car with a custom calibration tailored to the modifications you've made to the car. Other services include cloning a spare ECU, repairing and recovering data from a damaged ECU or TCU, and deleting those annoying check engine lights for missing components. Engine swaps, secondary air deletes, rev limiters, larger throttle bodies, and off-road catalytic deletes are not a problem. Speak to our team at a race near you or email info@mantisautosport.com.
Since 1995, Speed Sport Tuning has been providing clients throughout the Northeast with honest, dependable, and expert Porsche service. Speed Sport Tuning operates out of a modern 32,000-square-foot facility in Danbury, Connecticut, conveniently located near the Danbury Mall and Danbury Airport. Speed Sport Tuning uses the latest factory diagnostic equipment and OEM parts to keep your vehicle running in showroom condition. From routine maintenance and service to major repairs and performance upgrades and track support, Speed Sport Tuning is ready to serve you with expert service you can trust. Learn more online at sstauto.com.
At Daniel Jacobs Garage, they're passionate about servicing European car brands like Porsche. They combine dealership-level expertise and precision with the friendly, personalized service and competitive pricing of a local independent garage. Whether you drive a 911, Cayenne, or any other Porsche, their skilled technicians are dedicated to keeping your vehicle performing at its best while providing a welcoming, hassle-free experience right in South Derry, Connecticut. To keep your vehicle running smoothly and reliably, trust Daniel Jacobs Garage for expert Porsche service that delivers both quality and value without the dealership wait or cost. Visit their website today at danieljacobsct.com. OG Racing has been a national sponsor of PCA Club Racing since 1998. Headquartered in Sterling, Virginia, and staffed by PCA members and club racers, OG Racing has always carried the industry's best in racing safety equipment and performance parts. The best products from manufacturers like Sparco, OMP, Alpine Stars, helmets from Bell, Stilo, Rue, brake pads from Performance Friction, Paget, and Hawk, just to name a few, and are always in stock and ready to ship from their 12,000-square-foot warehouse. Give OG Racing a call or visit them at www.ogracing.com and sign up for their newsletter.
About to hit the track without coverage for your car? Buy HPDE insurance in minutes at LockedInMotorsports.com. Whether you drive a 911 or a Boxster, protect your car against physical damage during HPDE and track day events with HPD insurance from Locked In Motorsports, administered by Locked In Affinity. Coverage includes modifications you've done to your car, 2 drivers at each event, demonstration laps your instructor drives, and more. Worried about the trip home? Locked In Motorsports also offers off-track insurance for your non-licensed race car or track car while in transit, in storage, and in the paddock, plus options for your trailer, equipment, and tools. Insure your Porsche today at LockedInMotorsports.com.
Miller's Oils is proud to be a Porsche Club Racing sponsor and to work with Racer's Edge as their North American distributor. Miller's Oils has been blending oil since 1887 and has an extensive product line for virtually every street or racetrack application. The technology implemented in Miller's engine oil and gear oils protects the wear surfaces of your engine and gear train on a microscopic level, significantly reducing friction and increasing the life of your engine and gear train. We encourage you to try Miller's and judge for yourself with the help of an oil sample analysis. As they say, the proof is in the pudding.
With almost 250 episodes and counting, Fearless in the Kitchen, a YouTube cooking channel by Paul Lamico, is dedicated to sharing hints on cooking from the heart and head with ingredients from around the world. Paul's cooking is his passion and he wants to share it with you. Although there are recipes, Paul's emphasis is on creating from what you have on hand at the time as an inspiration and using old, new, and original techniques. Just grab stuff and make it work. That's where the name comes from. Fearless in the Kitchen. Paul provides ideas on variations in the dishes, but really hopes that you'll see opportunities to put your own twist and add the flavors and ingredients that you prefer. No fancy video effects or editing, just clear and easy to follow demonstrations, so come and join along on this voyage. Paul tries to post a new episode every Saturday and hopes that you enjoy.
At Yokohama, they believe that motorsports are the ultimate test of performance, innovation, and durability. Everything they learn while competing under the grueling race conditions leads to better performing, longer-lasting tires for the track and the street. Yokohama's partnership with Porsche Club of America, Porsche Motorsport North America, and USAC brings you the Porsche Sprint Trophy PCA Series, run exclusively on Yokohama tires. Additionally, Yokohama provides the spec tire for Porsche Sprint Challenge and Porsche Endurance Challenge. Visit yokohamatire.com to see their tire selections for your street or track car.
Based out of New Jersey, Precision Motorsport is a supporter of club racing and has been a national sponsor since 2025. From the latest Cup cars to 944 racers, PMR has supported them all here at the track. True experts in their craft and dedicated to performance. Find them on Facebook at Precision Motorsports.
Over the past 30 years, Isringhausen has become synonymous with quality vehicles and superb service. The Isringhausen way of doing business has been one of offering excellent products at fair prices, coupled with service that goes above and beyond what anyone would expect from a typical car dealership. We believe that good service is comprised of two components: a willing and helpful attitude, accompanied by competency in your field. We try to support an environment where each person who works here strives to serve each customer as they wish to be served, with dignity and respect. Because of these core values, Isringhausen has become and will continue to be a leading example in the industry.
One of our latest partners, Track Day Tire, is happy to be supporting club racing through their Toyo, Hoosier, and Michelin tires. Use the code PCACR for a discount at checkout. The TrackDayTire.com team is passionate about helping our customers extract the highest level of performance from their vehicles on the track. Decades of on-track experience has taught us purpose-designed track-use tires are arguably the single most important vehicle component that influences driver confidence to obtain maximum vehicle performance. Making it easier for our fellow Track Day enthusiasts to obtain confidence-inspiring tires is our goal. We look forward to providing you access to the best prices and customer support in the industry.